What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Blunt Guy. Hey! And we are back again with another stream. Today normally would be the chapter reaction stream, but we don't have no chapter, so I'm thinking to do something a little different. So I was pretty much surfing the internet or surfing Twitter, and versus came across my eyes, and I was like, you know what? I think I should change this stream up and do a versus. Y'all know me; I'm not normally the type to do verses or power scaling or anything, but I think it would be a dope change up for once, right? Do something different outside the box, kind of like the one time I did a trivia. The stream went well, so now we about to change things up, and let me bring my guests in. First, let me introduce the first guest, Adam. Unmute yourself, Adam.
What's up? What's up?
All right, and next we got D. LaJoy Boy. I like saying that like it's French. You can unmute yourself, man.
Yo, what's good? What's good? Yeah, it is a little bit French.
D. LaJoy Boy. And then next, our final, our last guest, not last but not least, we got the one and only Cube. Unmute yourself, Cube.
What's up, guys?
What was that? Man, what was that?
I tried to do the Blackbeards, but I'm not good at it. The laugh.
Sound like you were choking over there,
I
bro.
thought you was choking on it. I'm like, you all right? God. Oh man, but all right.
Yeah, I did it in a one-piece fashion.
All right, let me check the chat. I got my uncle in the chat. Shout out to my uncle with the thumbs up. He like to always leave a thumbs up in the beginning of my streams. So supporting his nephew. You know what I mean? That's what's up. That's what's up. And we got Angel's Room with the yo. Shout out to Angel's Room. All right, y'all. So today we got a versus stream on our hand, and I guess what inspired me to do this stream is I seen a meme posted in some Facebook group. Yeah, it was a Facebook group. I think I said Twitter at first. And they said, who wins, Jack or Cracker? So the Jack from the Beast Pirates or the Sweet Commander Cracker, right? And but before we get into it, I almost forgot. Before we get into it, first let me tell everybody to hit that like button. Also, subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell for notifications. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you're looking for a One Piece group to be a part of, we have the Discord and the Facebook group. I gotta get that out the way first and foremost. But yeah, so let's start this topic off with our first versus fight. I want to keep this stream to like commanders, like Yonko commanders, or I guess if y'all think there's some characters that are around that Yonko commander level, I guess we could maybe dive into those if we need to find some more matchups. But first, let's get into Jack versus Cracker. Who wants to start off? Let's try to keep this one at a time as well. Who wants to start off with an argument? I can start off.
I guess.
Okay.
Oh yeah. All right, I'll take it. All right. So what I'm thinking is, so it took Gear Force to take the bus through Cracker's soldiers, and for Jack, I don't know if we've really seen that power. I mean, the man just takes L's left and right. I don't think he's got a single W under his belt.
He's taking he's taking some L's from some people though, right? It took Zunisha. Like Zunisha kind of had to do with him,
but also Ashura Doji is just a scabbard. This man one shot Jack.
Yeah, but he's kind of strong though. He's kind of strong.
Yeah, but then like the Cracker soldiers too. Like that's a lot that Jack would have to deal with.
Yeah. So you're going with Cracker?
Oh, until I'm convinced otherwise, unless
Okay.
they got some good Jack points or you do.
Okay. Okay. I will argue on behalf of. I'm not, okay. I'm not choosing. I'm not choosing Jack, but just kind of to argue, I guess, to play devil's advocate on some of your points, right? I think Jack has lost. Like Ashra Doji, I think is a strong character because Jack also beat. He also beat, or he didn't beat him, but he fought Momono or Nekomamushi in Inuyasha. Inuyasha. Is it Inuyasha or Inuyasha? Because I always think like
I have no idea.
he
The
fought.
dog dude.
Yeah, he
Dog
fought.
Storm,
He
right?
pretty much fought them for multiple days, right? Like
Oh
switching
yeah.
on and off. That's two scabbards he pretty much fought like off and on, while he fought like,
Dog Storm in the Viz one too.
huh?
Oh, I was gonna say I think that his name might be Duke Dogstorm
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
Viz
yeah.
one.
It's Dark Dog Storm and Cat Viper.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but he fought them consecutively, like continuously too. So, and they're scabbards, right? So, I just think I think Ashra is just kind of on a high in the scabbards. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
kind of.
Well,
I don't think
on
there's
that
a
point,
knock.
I got a good rebuttal for that.
Okay.
Because I mean, Jack came in with one of Queen's toxins, right, or some kind of toxin, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they were poisoned,
Yeah.
A good point.
and then it was more of torture than a battle.
But that was kind of like later in the fight though. Like this was after a few days, because remember, like he would fight one and then they'd switch. Like it'd be like nighttime
Yeah.
because they're up.
Yeah.
Like this was a few days before he actually even used the gas. You know, so just the fact that he was able to fight two minks, like two tough minks consecutively, and then he loses the Ashra. Ashra to me just one of the top tier scabbards in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Him and maybe Denjiro, you know. So I just it's tough to still kind of compare because Cracker only fought Luffy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, and don't we know that he beat the one supernova, the big one with the Burkian?
Aruj.
Yeah, don't we know he fought him off at least or after he had beaten one of the other Sweet Commanders, then Cracker fought him off?
I think something along that line, or unless it was Katakuri.
Yeah, I don't think it was like a totally fair fight, but it's like that's the only other I think fight we know about that he's done.
Stan says not in Sulong though. He fought them for 5 days, but they never went in Sulong. Yeah, I know that, but the fact that he still was able to keep up with two, like they kept, it was like one of them would get some rest and you know what I mean, be able to like be fresh again, and they kept rotating, right? So he kept fighting them. It's not like he lost or anything. He kept. That's all I'm saying. You know, like that's kind of impressive to be able to fight two. I ain't saying they're top tier characters, but two tough characters such as those two, without any breaks. You know what I'm saying?
And on like a commander competency level list too, Kaido kind of gave Jack the job of go find this place no one's ever found and get information from him, and he trusted him with that to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if Cracker's been given any sort of job. It seemed like he had just been promoted to a Sweet Commander when we met him with Luffy.
Yeah.
Like for the Rouge thing, I looked it up and said the Rouge took out Snack, and then Cracker was sent after him and swiftly defeated him and forced him to draw back.
Okay, and we know that could mean anything because it could all been biscuits.
Right.
Well, something I was gonna say with the the fight we're talking about, I guess. I mean, as far as bounties go, Jack was the first billion bounty, well, not the first billion bounty, but another billion. I know we saw him before Katakuri because we saw that Zoe flashback before Whole Cake, so he was the first billion bounty we ever seen. And Cracker, I think, I'm looking at the wiki. It seems like he's 860 million belly or whatever. But then I was just thinking, actually, we were talking. So obviously, it seems like so much of One Piece comes down to like matchups and certain abilities and stuff. And so Jack, couldn't he just, since he's a fishman, couldn't he just store water like Zunisha and use that water against Biscuit, and that's like his biggest weakness?
Good point.
Will he
Good
be able to
point.
store water though?
I think he'd be able to store if Zunisha. Well, okay. I mean, I guess
Well,
it
wouldn't
would
that
depend where they're
weaken him?
fighting.
Would what?
I said, wouldn't him storing water weaken him though, since he has a double fruit?
No, I don't think so.
he's worried about drinking.
Luffy's been able to store water.
I was about to say,
Well,
yeah, and we've
yeah,
seen him
but
do
that
it.
was regular. Like, okay, so regular water is not gonna do anything.
No.
It's only seawater.
All right. I
Okay.
No.
I
Clear
got
this
you.
up because
Yeah, I understand.
Confusion against how water works against devil fruit users.
Yeah, but it's
So-
specifically
Biscuit
against
was
Cracker's
straight-
ability.
Biscuit was just straight moisture. It didn't matter if it was seawater or anything. It was just moisture.
Right.
Well, let me clear this up, and I'm not saying y'all don't know, but let me just clear this up because I always feel as though I gotta clear this up because this was stated from Oda himself. This is not me like throwing my own reasoning behind how devil fruit abilities are affected by water. It's not the type of water that affects devil fruit. It's if the devil fruit user's body emerged in a certain amount of water, for example, like it could be fresh water or salt water. It's still affected.
Well, I just want to interject that,
Hold on,
I know what you're saying is true from Oda, and it is true in the SBS and stuff. But we've also seen in story that is not true, and that Luffy's body has worked underwater totally fine.
Yes,
so I agree with you.
Let me say this. Let me finish first. Let me finish first. So it's the amount of the body that's like that's when it actually starts weakening. Like Luffy could still stretch in underwater. He could still stretch, but it still impacts him depending on how much of his body is. Like when he was in that bubble and he was able to punch, his arm was in the water. It wasn't his like waist and all that. You know, his arm was the only thing submerged. So it didn't.
Well, I think the SBS thing said that you had to have just to your ankles submerged in a body of water.
No, the more your body is submerged, the more the water has effect on you. That's all I'm saying. It's like if it's up to your ankle, it will start affecting you, but it's not going to affect you as much as if it's up to your waist. You know what I'm saying? Because Luffy remember those pool house scenes where like Luffy's in the tub and he's like, and then I think like Aokiji was there as well. You know what I'm saying? And Aokiji was affected by the water. And that was like fresh water they're in. You know what I'm saying? Like water you clean yourself with. So it's not the type of water. It's just the amount your body is.
We've never seen the water in the mouth affect them. So I'm imagining Jack can hold it in his trunk like Zunisha does.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say why I don't think it will affect Jack.
Okay, I get you. I agree.
Because he's not submerged in it. He's just holding it. Go ahead, Q.
Can I jump in on the Jack versus Cracker?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think between if it's Jack versus Cracker, because Adam said two things that I wanted to say. First of all, is the matchup, and also because if you think like, and also Bluff, you said it, who Jack faced, all the minks plus the I forget their names, the two head the minks, compared to Cracker versus Gear for Luffy, and he did fare pretty well until Luffy had to go Gear 4 and really hit him many times until he got him. So I do feel like if it's a matchup between Cracker and Jack, with what we've seen, I would say Cracker. But I think that if Jack would have had a real one-on-one, it would have been more clear that Jack might win. Because I do feel like Cracker is not a fast character. He's mostly a character that's strong and is quite durable. And Jack is a fishman, and he has a Zoan that boosts physical. So I do feel like if they face to face, there's a big chance that Jack might win because of that. Because I think the matchup was done in a way that we would never know how one commander could do it against another one. Because it always has a specific matchup.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Jack said that he was using that forest as like he controlled that forest and his power worked better being able to be hiding in the trees and stuff like that or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so like, where would they be fighting? theoretically.
I guess maybe we have to make that part of the rule part.
Dang. Let's use the for all debates today. We're going to use we're going to use the Cell tournament arena from DBZ. We're using
Okay, well if it's that, I think Jack then might just be able to transform and push him off.
Well, it's not going to be like you gotta push them off the thing. It's just we're just going to use that area. You know, like they could fight. They don't
like a real big Cell arena.
Yeah. Or we could use.
Like you have to do Dark Tournament arena.
You want to use the Dark Tournament arena?
I'm trying to think of somewhere where they can go out of bounds. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, out of bounds don't matter. Out of bounds don't matter. It's just
Okay, I have a better the hyperbolic time chamber.
okay. Sure.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, because it's like a vacuum. Because you can't use.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And there's no limit.
Yeah. So I kind of want to talk like. I don't like. I think it would be kind of an attrition type thing. You know, it would be could Jack last long enough and get through all the biscuits? Because once he gets to Cracker, I think that's when the fight is over. Because Cracker doesn't have any durability or anything, right? But that's the problem. It's just because Cracker could just keep throwing soldiers at Jack, and I think Jack is strong enough to withstand a lot of those soldiers and probably like. You know, take each one of them single. You know, like I don't know. Like I think he could, but it'd just be a long time for Jack. It'll take a while, unless they wear Jack out though. You know.
Yeah.
Because if you view how Jack is for what we've seen of his Devil Fruit, which is how he fights, he goes to his Mammoth state.
Yeah.
The only matchup which would overpower, and there were a lot of them, were the Minx, and they basically use fast, quick moves. They didn't stand their ground and just do like strong, Zoro type of attacks. So I do feel like also the biggest disadvantage, and I don't feel like Cracker has it, is an overwhelming speed. I think if you don't have an overwhelming speed after a moment, like the guy's a huge mammoth. He'll just break crackers, and like you guys said, it's a game about stamina, the one who will withstand the longest.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen anything of Cracker that would show that his Devil Fruit could do like crazy damage.
Yeah.
For me they always look defensive, counterattacks.
Yeah.
And I don't see that against Jack.
They even had shields too, mainly like the biscuit shields.
Yeah. But I was just looking through the wiki and all that, and I don't know if y'all remember, but he almost cut through Luffy's gear fourth arm with his sword, like nearly in half.
Yeah.
So I mean, how far is that going into Jack?
That's
well. Then also we have to, try to account for how much of a weakness still Luffy has for sharp things.
But wasn't his sword like a real sword, like a graded sword? I do remember. Wait, let me check.
Yeah,
I thought he used hockey.
Y'all check.
He did put hockey on it.
Let me read this chat real quick. Because some people got their own views, and I kind of want to let them say. Hold on, Cube. Hold on.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry.
I think he just ran. I think. Hold on. Stan says he fought them for 5 days, but they never went so long. Yeah, I might have read that already. Angel said, "Nah, I think he just ran off." Now you gotta ask if their switching around would work on Cracker. I guess you're talking about the Minx with what the Minx did to Jack. Would it work on Cracker? Yeah, but let me finish this and then we can answer that. Stan says, which need a gear 4 Luffy in order to be destroyed? Well, Nami kind of helped Luffy on that. And look, I'm not saying Jack will beat Cracker. That's not even the argument I'm making. I was just kind of playing devil's advocate. Angel
Cracker.
Angel said, hold that thought. Let me. Angel said that the liquid also affect your energy, not your devil fruit ability. But your devil fruit is like law that requires energy to activate. You would not be able to activate it. Yeah, I agree with that. So he's pretty much saying the water is not affecting your devil fruit ability. It affects your water or your energy, right? So if you don't have the energy to use your devil fruit, you won't be able to use your devil fruit, pretty much. Best Gen in the building. He says AOCVL. I think is he saying Cracker versus Law? I think that might be what he's saying. If we do that battle, that might have to be like a Law at that point, because I think Law now to beat Cracker easily. Stan says keep in mind that Luffy beat Cracker only because of Nami. If not for Nami, help Luffy is not beating Cracker. And then he says, whereas if Luffy fought Jack at that time, I see him beating Jack. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, honestly. What are you saying?
I actually don't agree with that because
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with that. With the fact is, if the Gear 4 form that we saw was the latest, I would say yes. But since no, actually it was before. Oh yeah, but he does have Snake Man. So knowing that we know what happens next, he might have used it much earlier on.
I think he would have learned. I mean, I think he would have learned. To me, Katakuri was kind of like his function was to be the strongest commander as far as our perception goes. And then once Luffy beats him, now it's time to start fighting Yonkos and stuff. So I feel like the Katakuri thing might be separate, whatever. But I did like the StanCon because I forgot that like Nami was so involved with Luffy's fight. But I still think that Luffy would probably he might be. I feel like with Jack, he's not thinking as much. It would just be punching. And he's probably gonna learn whatever like he did with Katakuri, but with Cracker it was kind of like a trick for a while until he figured out that it was like eating the biscuits or whatever it was.
I think Jack would have probably had a easier time than Luffy did getting through the crackers without like needing water. Personally, I think at that time Jack's hockey probably was much better than Luffy's at that time. Because Luffy had Gear 4, but he was kind of limited. What are you saying?
Oh, I just said, yeah, no, it might have been, you're right. I at that time, he might have been actually the strongest hockey user we'd seen to that point actually use it.
Yeah. But I think where Jack is going to, what is working against Jack is having his stamina against, Cracker just being able to produce so many crackers without, getting tired. Because snapping your fingers don't take that much energy.
And he does have ranged attacks too, so he can be sitting back peppering Jack while his biscuits are going forward.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Stan says, keep in mind also that the way the fight with the Minx was portrayed, Jack and Perospero were portrayed to be on the same level when fighting them. Perospero is pretty strong though. Let's not sit here and sleep on Perospero. Yeah, I think Perospero could have easily been the 4th Sweet Commander. Because we didn't even see what Snack could do, and he fought Judge and probably lost. I don't know. I think Perospero could have beat Judge at least.
Well, and something with the Jack and Cracker thing, it's almost like it's a really good pick, honestly, for those two because they almost encapsulate the two different types of fighting in one piece. Either you're like Cracker and you have some sort of crazy good power that's specialized and you can use it, or you're like Jack where you fight and get beat up and then get up and fight and get beat up and then get up and then keep doing that. And so it's almost like, hey, he's a woolly mammoth too, so it's like he's like a lost breed of fighter because the more exciting, sexy thing is the cool power that's unique instead of just being strong or whatever. Yeah. So I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, I wanted to address something too about like what Angel said. He said, would like the switching between the Minx, would that work the same against Cracker? Right. Against. So I guess what they was doing to Jack, would it work the same against Cracker?
I feel like the Minx would have been able to smell his real body and find him easier.
But he can also hide inside the biscuit.
Good point.
I'm just imagining that an animal smell could maybe penetrate that and find him still. Maybe not.
Yeah. I mean, if he's in
I'm sorry.
if he's in the armor, I think he'll be protected. You know what I'm saying? So I think he probably would have an easier time with the mix.
Do biscuits conduct electricity?
I was gonna say that, but that's saying yeah. Do they? I'm not sure.
Does it matter?
Yes.
Well,
I mean-
the minks, couldn't they just electrocute one of them? And if they're all touching or connected, it would electrocute
They
all
can
of
use
them.
hockey. They can also use hockey. The thing is, if it's the same amount of minks that Jack faced, I'm not sure if I'm not. I don't even have the answer. But can Cracker take care of all of them? That's the thing. If they all use Electro with hockey,
But how does that
they
affect
can
them
go.
though? Like, how does that affect? Like, they're not like
Being
sentient.
electrocuted on a human body
But
hurts.
I'm
I
saying,
think.
but they're not sent. The crackers themselves aren't sentient. Now, if you're
I'm saying
But,
having
if
the
you're-
electricity travel through the crackers to Cracker.
oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, that's
if
what I
he's
was
in
talking
the
about.
actual armor.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like they aren't gonna
Okay.
affect the regular biscuits.
Yeah,
But also, like so if let's say Cracker's going there to do the same thing Jack was, how many soldiers is he bringing? Fucking ton.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think even just looking at like Jack was given a crazy hard job to do and was expected to finish it, and then was told to go to get Dofi, like he might be able to get Doflamingo out. Like, so I just feel like he's been trusted a lot more than Big Mom trusts Cracker. It seems like, and to me, I wonder how much that matters as far as power goes.
I mean,
Actually, the
though,
only way the Minks could win is if they have observation hockey, and that I don't think so. They have.
No, I don't see it.
No,
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think
couldn't
so.
they
They have
like
that.
sense in the forest? I thought that they kind of had like it seemed like they might have maybe had some sort of an equivalent sensing power at least in that forest.
Well, I'm sure they have like better eyesight, earsight, smelling, of course.
I mean, to me, I really wonder if that's like some sort of like just like how they can kind of make that weird electricity. If that's some sort of part of their like animal hockey.
If what? Say that again.
Like it
Animal
just
hockey.
if a heightened senses like how most animals can smell and hear better than humans and stuff like that. If maybe minks, if their specialized mink hockey has something to do with smelling and hearing and sensing like that, and that we just don't know about like observation hockey.
Like they have a heightened sense of like animals. Like their senses are like way higher than normal animals.
Yeah, I think it's
Exactly.
just natural higher sense. Nothing to do with hockey.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
it's possible though, like because
But yeah, like maybe.
Zoro was able to smell alcohol, and that. I mean, I'm not saying that was hockey, but that might have been
My
hockey.
man just needs to go to Alcohol
The man
Anonymous.
have alcohol.
That's it.
He has alcohol observation hockey.
Well, see, that's why Zoro's got to fight Mihawk now because his real big hurdle is going to be rehab at the end of the series.
The Stan says, hold on, where was I? He says, keep in mind that Luffy beat Cracker only because of Nami. If not, the Nami help Luffy is not
Yeah,
beat
you read
Cracker.
that. You read that.
Whereas if Luffy fought Jack, keep in mind also that the way with the mix was portrayed, Jack and I read that. Angel said, honestly, this is going to turn into an all-star versus Sweet Commander. I mean, we got some Whitebeard stuff, I think. Some Whitebeard crew stuff because they've been shown. We just really can't use Shanks and Blackbeard because we haven't really fully seen what they do. We seen a little bit from Shilu though, and Katarina Divine. Stan says, true, but Cracker can just make an army of biscuit soldiers and just send them forward, and he can stay back, and just clap his hands. So the Minks have to beat the other soldiers in order to reach him. I mean, I agree with that. That's ultimately what I think. I think that Cracker would have an easier time just overwhelming, right? Because each Cracker is like strong enough to compete with Gear 4 Luffy, so at least post Dressrosa Gear 4, So I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
To me, I just keep thinking about how much Luffy was able to eat, and I just keep thinking of like going into a jungle with tons of lions and animals that want to eat anything, and I have a bag of like sugar crackers in my pocket, and how much that has to smell and how much they want to eat that. And I just feel like that if Luffy, one man, was able to eat all the crackers he was able to produce, I have to imagine that a whole island of animals that want to eat crackers would be able to eat the crackers too.
I mean, I guess if they go wetting it, like wetting the crackers, you know.
Which we know happens every couple hours on Zoe if we're talking specifically about invading Zoe as Cracker. Or I don't know how often the water comes down.
I mean, if that happens, then I agree with you. If but that is really dependent on that happening. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, we know every so often the Zoe thing shoots water up top. Is that every day? Because if it's every day, then I feel like
I think it's multiple times a day.
But even then,
so yeah, it's done Zoe at that point.
Even then, it's not like a consistent rain, right? So it's like let's say this. Cracker was fighting the Minks. Like the Minks have been fighting Cracker's army for a while, right? They're worn out at this time, and then all of a sudden the water shoots up, weaken those Crackers, and now they're still worn out though. So, but they might have enough to beat those specific Crackers. Now the waters. Now hold on. It's not. It stops raining. It eventually stops raining. Cracker just produces more Crackers.
Yeah.
And they're new fresh Crackers, and the Minks still worn out from the previous fight. So now they're going to have to last long enough for it to rain again, and then it just be a cycle with that. So eventually it's going to be like they're going to have to. It's going to be a thing of stamina and trying to get the Cracker. You know what I'm saying? But until they actually get the Cracker, they're going to be pretty screwed. And how I see it happening.
Yeah. So should we just go ahead and do a vote? Or do we got any more points for Cracker and Jack?
Yeah, let me. All right, let me in the chat. 1 for Cracker, 2 for Jack. Y'all, let me read the chat first, but and then y'all could give me y'all votes. Stan said, or Angel said, y'all forgetting Cracker got his own army. Beside he's biscuits. I agree with y'all on the Cracker doing better with the Zoe thing, but now we're going to vote.
Yeah.
About Jack and Cracker. Who wins? 1 for Cracker, 2 for Jack. 1 for Cracker, 2 for Jack. Adam, who are you going for? Cracker versus Jack.
I'm voting for Jack.
You voting for Jack? Why? You give your last. Just give like a summary.
I just when I say the words like a biscuit wall, and then I say the words a woolly mammoth charging towards it, I just feel like Jack would eventually break through and get to his real body, but before all the extra layers of endurance and stuff. I think that initial layer of his shields that Luffy's Gear 4th was stopped by, I think that Jack is going right through that and then hitting him one time and smushing him.
Okay, so we got 1 for Jack. And if y'all watching this later, in the comments, 1 for Jack, 1 for Cracker, 2 for Jack. Okay. All right. So next, D, LeJoy boy, who are you going with, Cracker, or are you going with Jack?
Oh, yeah, definitely Cracker for this. I mean, it's a 1v1 until Cracker starts pulling out his biscuit soldiers. And I think that's enough to be able to overwhelm Jack, especially with the power they have behind them versus one guy and probably just like 20 of them surrounding him. Plus Cracker hitting pot shots from a distance. Yeah. I think that's enough.
Okay. So as 1 for as far as our panel, that's 1 for Jack, 1 for Cracker. Cube. Who you got? Cracker or Jack? Cracker or Cracker Jack, right? Cracker Jacks.
So between Cracker and Jack, I would give it to Cracker, even though I do feel Jack, in my mind, would win. but I looked at the wiki. I remembered everything we've seen with both of them, and I've just seen more creativity in the way of using his ability was from Crackers and from Jack.
Okay.
So give it to Cracker.
That's 2
Good
for
point.
Cracker. That's 1 for Jack. All right, so I guess I cast my final vote. All right, so first let's look. We got Jack, right? Now I personally think Jack could probably do just as good against Cracker as Luffy has done. Probably better, personally. Like it I don't know for sure, but I think that Jack's hockey or just his level of strength and the damage that he could probably his like damage output, I think at that point in the story might have surpassed Luffy's, right? But even then, Luffy had to run away from Cracker, so it's not like he kind of had to get a lot of breaks. So it's a question of Jack can like I guess endure enough of Cracker's soldiers until he gets to Cracker, but I might have to go with Cracker as well. I might have to go with Cracker because I think he can stay away from Jack. You know, I think if he's careful enough and smart enough, which I think Cracker is, I think he could probably stay away or stay out of Jack's reach and keep throwing Cracker soldiers at Jack like long enough to eventually win. But I just don't think Jack is out of it as much as some of y'all kind of think. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of give it to Cracker. You know.
Oh yeah, no. I give it at least a mid-diff.
Yeah, but I think Jack can endure to make it a tough fight. But I just don't know if he could even ever reach Cracker. You know what I mean? That's where I'm kind of doubting Jack if he can reach Cracker. In the chat says Angel Room says 1 for Cracker. Stan says 1 for Cracker, and then we got Stick 18 for 1 for Cracker. Welcome to the channel and the stream, Stick 18. So it looks like Cracker is the winner of at least the debate here. You know. So who do we got next? Any takers? Anybody? Because I know y'all kind of thought of some.
Yes.
All right, we got Q.
I'm gonna go with what Joyboy talked before the stream.
Spicy time.
Katakuri versus King. Let's go with the legendary fight.
Okay, so this is gonna be the fight. Huh? So this is gonna be the fight between First Sweet Commander, and then who we look at to be the right hand to Kaido, King, and Sweet Commander Katakuri. Oh man, look. Now this one's a tough one for me because it's a lot of bias. It's gonna be straight for me. It's straight bias. I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be Katakuri. We just seen way more from Katakuri. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say. It's hard to give it to King for me because I feel as though we got like a whole arc where Katakuri was kind of like the main. Shout out to Stick 18 for the subscription. Hey man, I appreciate it. The love, man. But yeah, so I gotta give it to Katakuri though, man, because it's just we just seen a better showing from him. Is that safe to say? Is that safe to say that he has a better?
I think that's the safe pick.
Say what?
I think it's the safest pick.
Yeah.
Y'all both talked at the same time. Dealer Joy Boy, go ahead. What were you saying?
I said, yeah, I think it's the safest pick from what we've seen from Cat. But I mean,
okay.
Will he be able to learn King's Lunarian abilities?
I think the thing with Katakuri,
Big Mom knows about him.
I think the thing with Katakuri, he was able to copy Luffy is because his devil fruit kind of the functions of his devil fruit are similar.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, does he learn, like, he might already know, but if he doesn't, does he know about the Lunarians like flame abilities with like the defense buff and the speed buff when it's on and off?
I don't know. I don't know if he
Well,
knows.
okay, Katakuri can see the future, so I feel like he's gonna be able to figure that out.
Right.
Yeah, the issue with Katakuri.
You
But I
think
think King
that?
would win, maybe.
What?
Do you think that just because he can see the future, he can understand how King's ability works just off of seeing the future?
I think he would piece together that he moves faster when he's. I mean, just he seemed to observe a lot of things during those future moments, and him seeing him move faster in the future when he has the fire and slower when he doesn't. I feel like he would maybe notice, maybe. Yeah, but good point though. He could maybe not. I mean, you know, I could see it going either way, but I personally would say he would notice. I say he would notice, but I still think that King would win.
You think so? You got King winning.
I got King winning. We saw Luffy take a no holding back stab from Katakuri, and he didn't die or really get anything. And then Katakuri stabbed himself. So I'm not even sure if he's able to hurt King. Because if we say Katakuri wins, then we're saying that right now level Zoro loses to Katakuri, and I don't think that's true.
I have the perfect explanation why Katakuri could win. On paper, if it would be an honest fight, everything would be equal. I would see it more to the match. It depends on the environment, but I would see more King winnings than Katakuri. But if it's a close environment and he loses his ability to turn Hizo and the bird and to fly around, that's a big disadvantage towards giving it to Katakuri.
They're in the
But the reason why
hyperbolic time
Katakuri
chamber. They're in the
We got infinite room.
yeah, it's true. You're right. Oh yeah, hyperbolic time chamber. But the reason why Katakuri is gonna win is his haki, because we've seen with King's flashback, and we've seen that his will, why to become number one, why to protect Kaido, wasn't as strong as Zoro, and we've seen Katakuri's flashback, and the reason why he does all of that is for his family. So I do feel that if it's a fight between the will at the end, it will be Katakuri who will take it.
I might have to
because
go.
his will is stronger.
Katakuri let Luffy go, knowing that he would come back and kill his mother, in his mind. So I don't think the family thing is going to motivate him. I think King considers.
But we've seen his flashback with his sisters. When I talk family, I wasn't talking about Big Mom. I was talking about his siblings,
Well, they're
especially
in the hyperbolic
one of
time
his.
chamber, so I'm not including family. If there's a sister there or not.
I might have to
Because
I might have to give King some credit on this fight, because the fact that it's in the hyperbolic time chamber, because I don't know if Katakuri would be able to use his awakening like in the mirror world, and I think that would really help Katakuri if he could turn the walls and stuff. And
couldn't King just fly above him and shoot those head lasers at him just all day long until he's dead?
And I've got a question too. How do you think fire and then King's swords go against Mochi?
That's why I was wondering that too. Does Mochi burn or not? I'm not even really 100%.
so.
it melts.
I think, but Katakuri did have an attack where he had like super hot Mochi. So, but I don't know if that means he couldn't. It won't hurt his like fire wouldn't damage his Mochi. But I do remember having like a super like where he was burning Luffy with his Mochi or something. Like, I can't remember.
And the Mochi, so we know there's a ton of similarities with Luffy already. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that maybe the Mochi is a little bit susceptible to being cut as well. So that gives me another advantage with cutting and all that stuff.
He's not Logia. He's not Logia, so he can be like he could move, like he could like kind of move his organs and stuff to avoid
exactly.
Like,
and that's why I was thinking like he's pretty much like it seemed at the time like he was a kind of a more malleable Luffy almost. But to me that means you can take punches better, but he's getting cut up way easier, or at least the same amount as Luffy, if not easier.
Yeah. Hey, let me catch up on this chat because we got a lot of chats. I wanna check them out. We got iGod in the building. Shout out to iGod and welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to and he just subscribed, man. Shout out to iGod. He said, "Can I say a little theory?" Yeah, you're more than welcome to say a theory here. And then we got Stan. Stan says he will learn of King's flame ability. he very quickly figured out how Snake Man works. So I mean, okay, so I mean, Katakuri is a smart character. So I'm not saying it's. I just don't know if just seeing the future is enough to like. He would have to analyze what he's seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh,
that.
Zoro figured it out. He's
all
kind
I'm
of an idiot.
iGod says chapter 588. Garp said to Dedan that Roger was kind and his childhood is similar to Ace. How did he know that? I think Garp and Roger were friends when they were kids. Even Zebek. I don't know. I had to. I got a Discord. The Discord is in the description box. Send me a copy of that panel that you're talking about. So just join the Discord and send me a copy because I'm not.
Like Kobe and Luffy.
I have to see what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I never noticed that. But I don't remember Garp saying anything about Roger being his childhood. I don't. But if it's there, hey, send it to me. Angel said, I don't see King being able to disrupt Katakuri's concentration the way Luffy was able to, since Katakuri would most likely consider him strong enough to fight. I don't know. I could see King being able to disrupt it just with his offense. You know what I'm saying? The difference between King and Katakuri is, or King and Luffy was like Katakuri was kind of outclassing Luffy. You know what I'm saying? So Luffy kind of had to take him off his game by like other means, I guess. But I think King would be enough to where his offense would like think of it like this. Remember when Luffy went up to the roof and Kaido try to try to attack him, and he used Future Sight, but it was still like too fast. I could see King being so fast to where Katakuri's Future Sight's not going to be that much of a big deal. Not saying it's not going to help Katakuri though. Like, what you guys think?
I do. I feel like that fire, when he has the fire on, he's probably at least as fast as Snake Man, if not more.
Yeah, and if he's as fast as Snake Man, at least, Cat wasn't able to dodge it. He was only able to protect with Haki for the most part. So if that's the case, plus King's swords, and I mean, like I said earlier, Cracker was able to almost cut through Gear 4's arm. So I think King, with his swords plus the fire ability, might be able to get through his armament Haki.
I agree.
Yes. So that they just Angel just asked. He said, "Question: Do you think Bird King's faster than Snake Man Punch?" And y'all, it sound like y'all kind of answered that.
I think it's comparable.
Sorry.
I don't know about.
I think it's
punch.
comparable.
Yeah, I think his attacks could be just as fast. Yeah.
I think
that bothers.
Go ahead, Q.
The thing that bothers me in this situation is that I honestly think that King can go faster than Snake Man, because Snake Man was extremely fast and Katakuri had difficulty with it. But I think it's we shouldn't forget, even though it's just a title, they were known to be gods, Lunarians. So I do feel like his speed for sure must have been at much higher levels than Snake Man.
Yeah,
I agree.
And here's another thing.
But also, it's just to finish. It's just a weak statement because it comes from the word of mouth of Queen, like it's like anybody else. Not like something we haven't seen other Lunarians. But I do feel like it's not only the fire that they talk about gods, or the fact that they're quite durable, but the speed was too much for Zoro to handle at one point.
Yep.
So I do feel like the speed. So Future Sight, I don't think so. Future Sight as well will play. I think it would play a factor at the beginning, but it's the same way as Katakuri will see King coming. King will be very durable. So after a few things, he will realize he'll maybe step up his way of attacking. So Future Sight, we know that it needs special conditions. So I think that after a few exchange, future side will be disrupted. I do feel I can see it.
And to go along with what you just said too, I mean, the Katakuri fight in itself is an example of seeing, and same with Enel, seeing the hit coming at you and being able to do nothing and still get knocked out by Luffy. So we know just because you can see it doesn't mean much, honestly.
Yeah. And I think one of the best things going for King though, that like his advantage is his flying, like the fact that he could fly, like, you know,
Yep.
it's he could like just sit there and kind of avoid Katakuri and just like throw range attacks at him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's always going to be a big deal in fights is mobility, right? You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Stan says,
I think you could just sit up in the sky and shoot him with lasers and fire, and then and I think he'd win. It not easily. I'm not saying like he'd easily.
No.
Win.
I think he could wear Katakuri out though, because Katakuri gonna have to do a lot of dodging. Like,
I think, like I said before, with the cutting thing and stuff, it's like I think it's almost a bad matchup for Katakuri, as crazy as that sounds. Even though I absolutely like Katakuri more than I like King,
Yeah.
I feel like if we're just talking about fighting or whatever, I think King might beat him fairly. I'm not saying super easily, but like the mid diff or whatever you were saying earlier, and it's like, oh, you know, not that the bounties are everything, but it's like there's a 300,000 difference in bounty between them, and it's like, oh well, maybe that plays a factor too.
Yeah. All right. So Stan says, so if we put that into perspective with King, then King needs to switch off his fire in order to have his speed to counter Katakuri, and if he does that, he is not invincible, and Cat can hurt him. Plus, I don't see King being as fast as Snake Man Luffy. And then we got Cube saying, this Cube guy really knows his stuff. Hey, man. Hey, shout out to Cube getting love in the comments by himself. Shout out to Cube. Oh, my God. I got said.
Well, I like the compliment.
I got said, I'll send it if you can check it in theory. All right, I'll check it out kind of maybe towards the end. Maybe we kind of talk about some theories and we could talk about that some more. But I'll check it out. Just let us get through some of these verses, right? Okay, yeah, but I still see King's like King's being able to just sit there and attack Katakuri from distance. I think that's going to be a super big factor, you know. And Katakuri's future sight, I don't think is going to matter as much as people may think. I think it's going to help, but, you know, when you fighting somebody who's, you know, fast enough to kind of make that null and void, it's kind of like, you know, is it really that much of an advantage? Angel says, I don't know about y'all, but in my eyes, it seems to me that Katakuri was able to dodge Snake Man punch. The only thing he was struggling was Luffy being able to change directions. And you don't think King can't easily change directions?
Yeah, and like what King said, he's right. Katakuri was able to dodge it, and he still lost. So I mean, it didn't help that much.
And you gotta understand, King has even more mobility than the Snake Man punch.
And he's a weapon. I just reread the fight with Zoro, and I was shocked at how much of an emphasis he puts on that. Like, he uses every single thing about his body to be a weapon, which Luffy does, but he doesn't have that cutting effect, at least not yet. So it's like, I really think that King would be a matchup nightmare for Katakuri, in all honesty.
Yeah, he's been just like a missile, right? And you know,
He has a part where like he kicks. He like kicks Zoro, and Zoro's like, "Oh my god, a swordsman kicked me," and he's like, "I never said I was a swordsman. I use everything as a weapon." And it's like, "Oh, yeah, shit."
Bruh, like we seen how it was when he clashed against Sanji, and Sanji's like the fastest Straw Hat, you know. So
good point.
He's fast, and he was able to like straight up match Sanji in speed, and he had the power to overdo Sanji, you know.
Yep. And he seemed pretty fast too when he flew in and knocked the Big Mom pirates off with their ship on the waterfall too. I mean, that was all pretty fast.
I God said Katakuri's hockey vision is higher than Luffy. He can dodge it easy. I don't think he could dodge it easy. I don't,
And what I mean, what does that mean though? Because I mean, he had a higher hockey vision than Luffy, and then he lost to Luffy. So what does that mean?
that is a good point. That is a good point. You know, and you lose to somebody with worse vision. You know, like I don't think that's the case. You know, like it's like Kaido's future sight hockey. I mean, has he really shown like future sight hockey? I think he did. The one.
Kaido has future, yeah.
Yeah, but,
He at least has something.
yeah.
Yeah, he did because like he explicitly stated to Luffy, "Don't think you're the only one that can use future sight."
Like,
Okay.
bro, and Kaido's not like known for speed, but he was able to speed blitz Luffy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's fast as shit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he is almost known for speed though, because when there's a part where Luffy's even thinking where he sees in the future him getting hit by it, and Kaido makes a point where it's like just because you can see it doesn't mean you can stop it or dodge it, and he hits him with one of those Thunder Baguia things.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not-
was like he made it to where it was a glancing blow.
I'm not saying
Okay.
I'm not saying Kaido ain't fast. I'm saying he's not known for speed.
Totally,
That's all I'm saying. Like you don't when you think of like the fastest characters in the series.
No.
Kaido's not one you think of, you know.
He's
Not saying he
just known
can't
as
be
the
there.
strongest animal in the world to me. So I think speed's built into that.
For sure.
Stan says he lost if Katakuri uses the Mole Spear and doesn't stab himself and doesn't give Luffy the chance to transform. He wins. He
Totally.
Yeah, but he getting cut up by King anyways.
He says, so don't say he lost when there are so many asterisks in the fight. I mean,
I'm just going by what happened in the story. I'm not trying to add anything.
hey, Stan. At the end of the day, he lost. I agree with you. I hate to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel as though Katakuri allowed himself to lose. But
Me too.
allowing yourself to
Stan
lose.
well.
Now, I get what you're saying. Don't use that as a reason for his loss. I get that. And I kind of give you that. You know what I'm saying? But.
And then, like, when it comes. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, we're just saying he lost. He still lost. Go ahead.
And then I want to talk about like stamina because what the Luffy Cap fight was 12 hours?
11, 12, yeah, somewhere around
Something
there.
like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. So, so Cat, when it comes to King's stamina, I think King has more stamina, especially being a Zoan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
So in a long, drawn-out fight, I can see King pulling it out.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like
like,
it started
I
off as
think-
we were going to go Katakuri, and then it kind of switched to maybe if we vote, it's going to be King.
yeah. Hey, Q, what up? What up, Q? What you think? Q done fell asleep.
Honestly, for me, it hasn't changed. For me, for what we've seen, I see more Katakuri winning.
Okay.
But I would still. The thing that bothers me with King, actually, and that's why I would say Katakuri wins, is that we never seen King go fully 100% because he was a bit mocking Zoro for a very long time. You know, he believed that he was beneath him.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel that, but then that's just speculation because I do like King, and I do feel like he has crazy powers. Like he is on paper, I think he's much better than Katakuri, but I just think Katakuri is and I think that's a very important aspect is the creativity. And again, I don't see it in King the same way that Katakuri shown because he faced a struggle with Snake Man. He tried to face it off, and at the end, okay, like Stan said, he let him win at the end. But even though he lost.
So, just hold on. So no creativity, but he's able to stretch his head and make a laser beam.
I don't mean that there was no creativity, but between both.
Instruction manual. Maybe it's in the Zone instruction manual he got, but that's pretty creative to me.
Yeah.
I mean, is it really creative if that's how they used to hunt in the past?
It's almost creative just to even know that. Like, did he get that in meditation one day or something? Like, just to, I don't even know.
Let me read these chats real quick. Angel said, to me, Katakuri is just not adorable character. I could see that. Stan says Cat is stronger than Luffy, even after Luffy quote defeated him. I agree with that. I at that
And I
point,
don't think so anymore, though.
right now, no, I don't agree with that. At that
Well, for
point,
sure.
yes. At that point, yeah,
Totally.
I agree. Angel's Room say he's kind of like a Logia who's not used to getting hit. So are we? Is it like voting time? Should we like?
I think we would vote.
Okay, so all right, so in the chat, or if you're watching this much later, you could put this in the comments. We're going one for Katakuri, one for Katakuri, and two for King. So this is the battle of the K's. One for Katakuri, two for King, one for Big Mom's third son, the third son,
Second.
the second son. Oh dang, man. So,
I think it was the third kid, though.
Yeah.
he's part of the triplets, but I think he's the oldest, and then I think Peril Sparrow's the oldest.
Yeah, I think Paris Sparrow's the oldest.
Okay, so the second son, Katakuri, first commander, or are we going with King of the Beasts, Pirates, from the Lunarian race? Let me know in the chat. Let's start with Cube, because Cube kind of already just gave us answer. But who are you going with in this fight? Katakuri or King?
Okay. It'll be very easy. Are you guys ready? It's Stan. No, I'm just kidding. It's Katakuri.
Katakuri. So that's one for Katakuri. That's one for Katakuri. Let's go with Adam next.
Okay. My last little closing bit about it, I would say quickly is Big Mom knows everything Katakuri could do, and she still wants King more than anything in the world. And I think that's telling. So I'm voting for King.
Okay, that's one for King, one for Katakuri. All right, D LaJoy boy, what we going with?
Before when I brought it up, I would have gave it to Cat. But going into it, I think King has the upper hands with cutting ability against Mochi and fire against Mochi and just stamina.
Okay,
So,
that's two for King. Oh my goodness, what a turn of events. Two for King, one for Katakuri. Okay, I guess it's up to me. All right, so I kind of want to explain why I'm choosing who I choose, because it could be different. Real like now, I'm gonna go with King. Why am I going with King? Katakuri's I like Katakuri more, but I gotta go with King, and here's why. It's the environment. Now, I think if this was the Mirror World or some other maybe enclosed area, or I think my stream went out. It came back in. It cut out and then came back in. So yeah, I don't think Katakuri could really manipulate the hyperbolic time chamber area, because it's kind of like a mystical place or whatever. And
Okay, I was viewing that he could, and that would that applied for everyone. Like if they had awakening powers, that would be like a subtle ground to use for everyone for the fights.
well, no, I'm using the hyperbolic just to kind of erase any environmental advantages.
It could be half people's powers.
Well, it's
what it
kind of
is.
the key. It is what it is. Y'all told me to find a place. I said hyperbolic. So you know what I'm saying. So Katakuri can't manipulate it. And why is that? Why to me is that important, right? Because I think the main thing that is, or the biggest thing that's in favor for King is his mobility, his ability to fly. And the reason why I don't think you could manipulate the time chamber is because I don't think there are any walls. Because I don't
Ground.
I mean, I guess, maybe, but I'm just talking as if he couldn't do it, And even if he could manipulate the ground, it can't reach up to the sky, or it's probably limited.
True. And I'm saying I still think King wins. I just thought that they could manipulate. That's all I was asking.
But yeah, so anyway, I think Katakuri being able to manipulate the environment would kind of hinder King, his mobility, because if they were in the Mirror World, Katakuri could use the walls to attack King from a distance. But in this situation, I don't think he can. So I think King's going to be able to stay in the air and just for most of the battle, he could probably just attack Katakuri from a distance and just wear Katakuri out. And then if they ever do get close, King also has like a super. He's also super durable compared to Katakuri. So if King wants, he could just spend 50% of the fight just wearing out Katakuri from like the sky, and then it's like, you know what I mean? I think that's the biggest factor that why I'm giving it to King over Katakuri. So I'm gonna go King. So that's 3 Kings, 1 Katakuri, and in the chat we got Stan gave us a 1, so he's going Katakuri. So that's 4 and 2. Stick 18 gave us a 1. That is 3 for Katakuri and 3 for King. 3 and 3. Angel said, I don't know, man. After hearing these arguments, it's 50-50 for me. Katakuri don't make mochi wings. I mean, if he can, hey, that could give him advantage, you know.
Just confirming my shit.
You over there voting too. in the chat, D LaJoy boy. And then Stan says, doesn't matter if King can fly and shoot lasers, because even if Cat can't reach him, King can't touch him. Hold on. Let me finish the comment first. Doesn't matter if King can't fly and shoot lasers, because even if Cat can't reach him, King can't touch him, because Cat can see the future and evade the attacks and phase through them. Now you can say what you was going to say, Adam.
All I was going to say is to address Stan's statement. If he's shooting from directly up, even if he phases through them, the lasers will then hit the ground immediately and blow up, so he will still be hit by them. So,
yeah. I don't think, like I said, I don't think Future Sight's going to be that big of a deal in this fight against somebody like King. So I definitely disagree with that. I don't think he's just going. Even if he phases through attacks, if King is sending them constantly at a rate, they're going to have some type of effect on Katakuri. And even if he's constantly avoiding these attacks, that takes stamina. It takes stamina. To be able to constantly avoid, that's going to take stamina, and it's going to be draining on his Future Sight Haki. So again, I'm not expecting King to like put down Katakuri from a distance. I'm expecting him to wear down Katakuri from a distance. Because dodging takes energy. You know what I'm saying? Dodging takes energy. Angel said one bias, but honestly 2 in this situation. So I'm going with the 2 for Angel since he can't decide. So
I think he was picking 2 there. I think that's what he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I say I'm going with it. So that's 4 for King and 3 for Katakuri. And Stan says, do they blow up?
Island.
Stan says, do they blow up though? And
we saw him blow up behind Zoro. He was running away.
Yeah, I think they were blowing up. And even if they not blowing up, you still gotta dodge them. That takes energy.
Yeah, and it would make the ground hard to dodge on too. To me, honestly, if it wasn't blowing up, maybe they're just making holes. It's like eventually he's gonna lose his footing.
Yeah, that's true. Dealer Joy was saying any ideas from chat verse next. Stan says plus Cat can go in the ground with his mochi power. Well, that's if he can manipulate the ground. Cause remember, hyperbolic time chamber. You know what I'm saying? This is a sacred area. I don't know if the ground there is. I don't know if the environment in the maybe besides like the little castle. It's not a castle, but I forgot what you call that area where they actually fall asleep and be eaten.
Yeah.
But it's like the little house, the little building.
Yeah.
Like that might be the only thing you could really manipulate, you know, but everything else I don't really know.
I don't watch the anime, but in the anime, is King's power like that last attack he did to me seemed like it was like electricity. In the anime, does he seem to do more electricity stuff, or is it all just fire still?
The king fight really hasn't happened with Zoro yet.
Okay, so it's
I don't know.
it could be.
Yeah,
electric.
they're still
You don't know.
they're still on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, so wait. Okay.
Just so
Yeah.
you know, the Zoro King fight will be in 2035.
Yeah.
What'd you say? 1,035.
Yeah.
2035 will be the King fight versus Zoro.
12 years from now.
I got a call from Funimation. They told me the truth.
And then
Angels.
that'll be the Attack on Titan final season 9.
Angel says Croc versus Moria. I'm trying to keep it the Commanders, right?
Yeah, the Commanders.
Cube says Sabo versus Queen. I mean, I guess Sabo is kind of technically a commander.
Yeah, right hand of the revolutionary.
And
He was in the picture of all the commanders. He was in the drawing of all the commanders.
But what
Yeah.
about like Queen?
I was
versus
trying to
something?
keep it. I was trying to keep it. Yonko commander.
Yonko.
Yonko.
Oh, yeah.
Yonko commander, or like Straw Hats, because they kind of could be looked at as commanders, maybe. You know, because if you want to consider Luffy as a commander, and plus Zoro fought a first commander, so I think at this point he is at least in the realm of it. But I guess
agree.
then so Sabo would be as well. You know what I mean? So I mean, I guess we could go with Sabo. Do y'all want to go with Sabo? Because I kind of want to keep certain. I'm trying to keep it within the theme, right? So
We could almost combine it with Ace a little bit with the fire stuff and kind of think of it like that with the commander stuff, the tie-in.
yeah, I want to keep it Yonko Commander, because if we keep it within that theme, then maybe some later themes we could keep it like we could go other type themes on like verses. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we could do like like warlords or something next time, or I don't know.
I
Warlords.
think the
Okay, so then I
warlords
have
would
a
be
good one.
interesting.
Yeah,
I have a
yeah.
good one actually. Queen versus Pero Spero.
I like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean,
like
he's
that.
not a Yonko commander, but he's kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like
First kid.
he's more
He might have formerly been one. Do we
Right,
know if he hasn't been?
he's more competent than all Big Mom's other commanders beside from Katakuri. Katakuri and Perospero are the only competent, and Oven. Oven was competent as well. Like Oven was getting things done in Whole Cake. While
Yeah.
Smoothie, Mrs. Second Commander, what did she do? Huh?
I'm not even sure if in the manga we saw her do any even do a power.
Nah, she didn't. She did in the anime though. She did like
okay.
she did pursue the Straw Hats and throw some slashes at them at the ship.
Okay, so you can do like sword stuff.
Yeah. Cube says Sabo versus Queen. Angel said no versus Ace. Stan says no. I think 1035 is too soon. Angel says Sanji versus Killer. I mean, it's not really a bad one, I guess. I don't know. I think Killer might win that one though. But Stan says Zoro versus King. We already got that, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know. King kind of tough.
Or he says Zoro versus King will be next year in anime, probably this time, maybe April or saying May. Same for Gear 5 Luffy. So what did you say, Cube? You said Queen versus
Sparrow.
I mean, Perospero has been more competent than Smoothie, so I guess I'm gonna just replace Smoothie with Perospero. All right, so Queen versus Perospero. Queen versus Perospero.
I like that.
Who wants to start?
D. Joy Boy, you want to start? Or you
No,
don't have to.
no,
You don't
no.
have to. You don't have to. You want to start?
Okay.
King? Or okay, Adam sound like he wants to.
I guess like I can kind of try to start because I'm trying to be the lone island person trying to go like what might not be the popular one at the start.
Bro, I honestly don't even don't know who I choose yet. But go
Because
ahead.
I think I might be picking Sparrow to be queen with the candy powers because
Oh.
he makes weapons and I'm thinking about it and it's like candy. Have you ever like eaten a Jolly Rancher, like sucked on it in your mouth, and where like the end gets super sharp and it's like sharp enough to stab your tongue?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that he can probably do stuff like that to try to stab through the zone body.
He could
And
make
I'm looking on the wiki, and like I forgot that he coats like Brooke and Chopper, and they can't breathe in candy and they lose. And everything we've seen of Queen, it at least seems like he depends on oxygen. So that would be effective against him, even if he is a cyborg parts at least.
he can make arrows, so he can make sharp candy.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at it. It looks like he can make arrows and maybe swords. It seems like sometimes he also does like a candy shower where he makes like sharp rain candies fall onto the ground and cut you and stuff. So
He,
it's
he
like
makes a bow and arrow too.
okay. So it's like I think he might honestly. I don't know how good Candy can like defend against Queen's lasers and weapons and stuff like that.
I
But
don't.
as far as going weapon to weapon, I feel like he might be able to at least hold his own with that. And then it just comes down to I am assuming Queen's probably way more durable, so probably Queen would probably still win, but it might just be closer than we would think from I think Paris Sparrow's like 70 years old or something too. It's crazy. Like let me look because he's super old.
70?
I don't.
Big
I don't.
Mom is 60 years old.
I don't.
Oh, okay, my bad.
50.
He said
Wait,
70.
yeah, he's 50. So
He
Big
said-
Mom's 10. That was
Yeah,
when she was
I'm
10.
pretty sure Big Mom not even that old. But I don't think Queen is gonna
Yeah.
just. I don't think Queen is just gonna sit there and allow Peril Sparrow to turn him into a popsicle like he did with Brooke and Chopper. Because Brooke and Chopper were just kind of standing there when he did that. Like I
Well,
don't.
could Queen or Paris Sparrow, could he maybe somehow use like sharp candy stuff when like I remember the part against Sanji where Queen like became like a boa constrictor almost and was like wrapping up around him. I wonder if maybe if there was a sharp thing in there, how much he'd be able to squeeze and break in that.
I don't know. Honestly, I kind of think Queen got this because especially
I do too, honestly. I do too.
especially
I think
thinking about it, Queen was able to like knock out Big Mom. You know what I'm saying? Even though Big Mom was kind of into like a weaker state because she was like she wasn't in her Big Mom self, right? And her how strong she is kind of tied to her mental state. So and I think her body was very vulnerable at that point. So that might be it just might be a great showing for Queen just because of the situation, but still, he did knock out Big Mom. He did kind of stop
me?
a rampaging Big Mom. Go ahead.
I was gonna say for me, the winner is Queen always, because I love the Germa tech in him, and I always say that Germa's tech is gonna be very important, especially with Sanji's power up versus Queen. But the reason why I always say Queen will always win, there's one thing that his family even said is this big baddest habit he always does, is that he plays with his food, meaning that he likes to taunt his target when they're down on the ground. And Queen is the perfect example of do not let him a second to do one sneak attack, because Queen is the master of poisoning people, So that's why I think that Queen will win, because even if Paris Sparrow gets the upper hand, he will want to mock him, and that will be the end of him.
That's a great point. And you reminded me though of something though when it comes to what their behaviors are with that stuff. So Queen, we saw lose to Vinsmoke Science, it seems like, with Sanji in some form or fashion. Well, when Paris Sparrow, he used his candy wave and caught all of the Vinsmokes at once. He caught the entire family all at once and immobilized them, even with all their science stuff. So I'm wondering now if maybe Paris Sparrow could just candy wave them pretty easily from anywhere, and he just couldn't get out of it, just like the rest of the Vinsmokes.
But they were not wearing the raid suit. They have the person in the raid suit. Remember?
Yeah.
The wedding. At the
know?
beginning of the wedding, they had to surrender the raid suits as a peace offering.
I think Queen is too strong to be contained.
He beat Queen, so I'm feeling like that might have helped him maybe.
I think Queen is too strong to be contained. Like I think if you contain him, especially if you do it in his normal form, he'll just transform and it'll just break the candy. I think.
Well, he also used it on the ocean big enough to stop like wave currents and the Thousand Sunny from moving. So that seems like to me pretty strong. But you're right, maybe Queen would be able to pop out of it though.
But that man is a probably one of the strongest dinosaurs that ever existed, you know, because it's like just off of mass, right? So just off of that, I think Queen's strength is probably, you know what I mean, enough. I don't think Candy is going to contain Queen's specific strength. Like, I think the Vince Smokes without their race suit, you could contain them, but Queen though, like, I don't know. I just think Queen just is too strong for anything Peril Sparrow would throw at him personally.
Also, Queen has that. I don't even know what technique that is, but that technique where he jumps out of his body and he's wrapped around. Like, just that is dangerous because it takes 1 second for him to. And Sanji survived because of his exoskeleton body.
Yeah.
So I do feel like if Queen does that, it takes a second and he got him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say because I'm kind of sold on Queen. I don't really have much to say. I'm kind of on Queen. So if anybody got any better arguments, you know.
I mean, like,
the
only
last thing I'll say is that a Bronchiosaurus, I really wonder if their teeth could handle the sugar that's in candy. And I wonder if that would play a role at all in their fight.
Yeah, I don't think it'd matter.
But I mean, really, the only things Peril Sparrow has going for him is that he did take a raid suit hit from Ichiji and just shrugged it off. And when he was wearing his candy armor and took that blast from Pedro like point blank, I think he was unaware too when that happened, but like he only lost an arm from it.
Yeah, I mean, Peril Sparrow is fairly impressive. Like I don't want to count him out.
Tough.
I just don't think he wins in the end. That's. I think he could. I think he'd be good though against Queen. I think
it'd be a harder fight, but Queen wins. But it much harder than maybe we thought at the beginning.
Yeah, I think Queen will overpower anything Peril Sparrow throw it. That's how I think it'll go. Unless the only thing I think can really get Queen is if like Queen could somehow like harden, like get some candy in Queen's mouth. Like if Peril Sparrow could do that to Queen and like just stop him from breathing. That's where I think Peril Sparrow would have a chance. But it's a matter if he could do it. Like if he can, I guess, get Queen in a state where he could get like, I don't know. You know, maybe if he could hold Queen for like a few seconds and then, you know what I mean, do that, then yeah, I could see possibly. But, you know, I don't know if he could hold Queen. Like
especially in the hyperbolic time chamber, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to use anything to like dodge and gain an advantage to be needed to try to get something like that done.
Yeah. Stan says Queen 100%. Queen has too much going for him. The man practically has 5 devil fruits. And then he also says he has all the power of Vinsmoke children. He has his own power and he is a cyborg. Plus, we do see the game kids break Peril Sparrow's candy, the Germa kids. And we see candy can melt because Sanji broke it. I think he like melted the candy. Queen probably has some fire type abilities. What'd you say?
I think Luffy melted it too, so it definitely melts.
Yeah, and I would think Queen has some technology that could produce fire at the very least. Like, come on. I'm pretty sure he could find a way to. Don't he like breathe fire or something? Or he has a gun. That might be like a gun.
That's something. Doesn't he have an attack called like frying pan or something? I'm not sure if that's
yeah. I think that's in the biz.
Yeah. So, but I think we could come to a vote on this one though. You know.
Oh,
if y'all ready,
yeah, for sure.
So we got Peril Sparrow. You know, not really a Yonko commander, but you know he's been more clutch than some of Big Mom's other commanders. So I'm gonna give him that position against Queen of the Beast Pirates. So 1 for Queen, 2 for Peril Sparrow. Let's start with D. LaJoy Boy on this. Who do you think wins?
I'm gonna have to give it to Queen all day.
1 for Queen.
Like, the biggest thing for me is Peril Sparrow lost to a Sulon Nekomamushi, and I can't see Queen losing to a Sulong Neko.
Good point.
Yeah. Adam?
I think yeah, I think Queen wins, but I maybe even high difficulty fight, but Queen wins.
I think mid diff. I think it'd be mid
Yeah, I
diff,
think mid-diff.
possibly. Cube.
Okay, so my vote will be quite easy. I'm going to give it to the winner of last year's most despicable character after he was overthrown by Orochi. It is the lovely Queen, the most lovable member of the Beast Pirates.
I don't think he's
Always there for the
despicable, though.
well-being of others, not poisoning people for no reasons.
I think a lot of
And
people
I'll give
actually
it
like
because
Queen.
same. What?
I think people actually like Queen, though. I've heard a lot
Yeah,
of good things
they're
about
mentally
Queen.
disturbed. I don't want to insult anybody, but I'm sorry. Queen is not. It's like saying you like Cersei Lannister. For me.
So, all right, yeah, I think y'all already know. I also vote for Queen as well. So I think it's kind of a sweep with Queen.
Yeah, for sure.
Angel's Room said Queen, low difficulty. All right, so I mean, I guess we can use Sabo kind of as like a replacement for Ace, I guess. And Ace was technically a commander, right? We still got Marco on the table. You know, we could reuse some character. We could reuse commanders. We don't have to. We could get like
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Marco
I
versus
have
King.
one then. I would say no. Actually, I would say Marco versus Katakuri because they had no interactions, no face to face. So that would be more interesting.
Okay. Marco versus Katakuri. Y'all with that one? Y'all like that matchup? I'm actually not against it, honestly.
We can go into it.
Marco versus Katakuri. All right. So who wants to start this round? I guess should I start it, I guess?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
started off.
I see now this one's a little tough because I never really thought about it. You know what I'm saying? I might be a little biased here. Marco versus Katakuri. Ah, man, I'm probably gonna have to go with Katakuri. But to me, I'm not gonna lie. Marco has never done much to impress me. I think the most impressive thing he's done was holding off King and Queen at once. But he was just holding them off, right? Like he just held them off. He wasn't beating them. He just kind of like kept them away from Zoro pretty much. Or was it Zoro? Who was it? I think Zoro, yeah. Because I always looked at Marco as a glorified tank, you know, just somebody who was better at tanking. And because I never seen no like great offensive moves from him. Well, he actually did kind of start winning me over during this arc, though, like especially while he was going against the other like King and Queen, for example. But I don't know. I feel as though Katakuri has a lot more offensive power over him. But then it's a matter of getting through his ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, does Katakuri have enough to actually hurt Marco? Right? Like, I might have to give it to Marco. I don't know if
You already switched up.
No.
Well, is it Marco versus Katakuri?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The reason why I switched up is for two reasons. One, Marco's flying. You know, I gotta, if I'm gonna give that advantage to King for that same reason, I gotta also be consistent and give the same advantage to Marco, because flying is an advantage. But at the same time, I don't know. But then my second thing is, I don't know if Katakuri has enough to damage Marco. Because first he's going to have to catch Marco, who could fly, right? And then you got to get past his regeneration ability. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't see Marco really having much offense against Katakuri as well, but I think Marco could eventually hurt him, I guess. You know, like eventually he could I think Marco will find a way to hurt Katakuri before Katakuri finds a way to hurt Marco, is what I'm saying. You know, I mean, I guess he got armament hockey. That could probably hurt Marco, but I don't know. I had to give it to Marco.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree.
I guess I'll take it then, since I've got a differing opinion for it.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
What you got?
So for Marco, he has to get in close to even hurt Cat because his flames do no damage.
That's true.
So in order to hurt Cat, he has to get in close and kick him.
That's true.
And so if he goes to kick Cat, his Mochi's sticky as fuck, and Cat has him right where he wants him.
Yeah, but he still got to hurt Marco though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
armament hockey.
Well, so something I keep thinking about with this is like, so
Man, does that affect Marco as much as we think? Because I mean, I feel as though like has nobody ever tried to attack Marco with armament hockey? Because I feel as though we've seen people attack Marco, and it's like you would think they'd get the idea to be like, oh, let's use armament hockey. But is it just nobody's attacked him with armament hockey, or is it just it doesn't
we've
affect
seen
him
Marco
either?
block like a million Kizaru lasers at once.
Yeah.
And we've seen Katakuri get knocked over by a rebound punch from Snake Man. So it's like I think that there's gotta be that like Marco can take damage as much as he wants, even if there maybe even with hockey involved with his special Phoenix stuff. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, because honestly, D.
The thing-
LaJoy boy, I think you actually kind of, changed my mind a little bit because I forgot Marco does have to get close because
Yeah,
I
because
don't think he has any
like, with
ranged
that,
attacks that do any damage.
Yeah, and he has to come out of his Phoenix form. Like when he goes to kick Kizaru, he transforms back like his bottom half or something. It's just his regular leg to kick Kizaru. So I feel like if he goes to kick Cat and connects, he's just gonna stick to him.
Well, he uses a Talon leg to kick Kizaru, and it does cut him.
Right.
So I'm thinking
But-
if he used the same against Katakuri, it might cut him.
But like I don't think his speed I think he's slower than King when King is like going all out.
Yeah.
I agree. I think he probably is slower. I agree.
So I think the observation hockey has a bigger debate in this fight than it did with the King fight.
Yeah.
I
would
agree. I
also-
think he would.
I would also add that there's something that why I like this, and I didn't think of it when I proposed Katakuri versus Marco, but the properties of his mythical Zoan does give. I don't know if you remember when he's being shot at in Marineford or like Kizaru, he gets this intangible form when he's in his flames, and he regenerates. So the real question is, can Katakuri stamina withstand? Because we don't know. Because Marco always was occupied with many opponents. We never see him in a face-to-face. So it depends also about the stamina. Because yes, Marco cannot reach Katakuri, but also if Katakuri, just as most of his attacks just goes through him, at one point they're gonna have to have a face-to-face.
But that's where
Actually,
where armament hockey comes in though, Q.
And didn't Marco shoot his own lasers too? Like, didn't he have his own, not lasers, but like he shot like little fireball beams or whatever that did stuff too? So he could almost do the same thing as King.
They don't
I
hurt
don't-
people. They don't
yeah.
hurt people.
And
The
Q,
ones that he shot and made explosions, I thought hurt people.
I don't think so. But,
It's been stated that his blue flames do not do any damage.
These ones, I think, he shoots like from the sides of his wings, almost like King, little ball things of fire that blow up. I thought.
Do you want to go find it?
No,
real
it's only
quick?
to grab.
It's
It's
in
only
the chat.
I'm looking right now. I'm trying.
Yeah, but yeah, Q, we're talking about armament hockey could be a way to get around Marco's ability. That's kind of what D. LaJoy boy already stated.
Yeah, but couldn't Marco, if he has using hockey on his body, can just because in Marineford he got hit by the few people who got to him was Garp and even Kizaru when he shot at him. I would also think that Kizaru would not just shoot his lasers at Whitebeard. He might have most likely coated with hockey. So I don't think that Kizaru would have.
Nah, he had a sea stone cuff on him, I think.
No, that was after. But the first move he did when he tried to attack Whitebeard, and we introduced Marco's Devil Fruit, and saying his name is Marco the Phoenix.
No, you said the only people that affected Marco was Gart when he punched him, and then Kizaru with the laser. And I'm saying Kizaru affected him because Marco had
Yeah,
cuffs
at that
on him.
point.
Yeah, and
So-
No,
that's
that
what
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
I'm talking about the first interaction they had together with the attacks.
Yeah, they
Because I don't
clashed.
remember. But do I remember the first time Kizaru attacked Whitebeard? Marco wasn't revealed yet, and he appeared as a bird, and he
Yeah.
blocked
Mhm.
all the attacks, and he took it head on.
But those weren't hockey attacks. Those are just light attacks. We're saying
And,
There's no hockey on
we're
that.
saying if you're
But
using
why-
hockey,
Why use just
player
light
does
attacks
it.
against Whitebeard? Most likely, it could be speculation on my end, but I would assume that there must have been some hockey if he dared to go face to face with Whitebeard and shoot him light, because I think Whitebeard, he knew that Whitebeard would be able to block it if they didn't have enough. It didn't have hockey.
maybe he believed that his laser would be enough to hurt Whitebeard without hockey. I mean, like Mihawk didn't. I don't think Mihawk attacked Whitebeard with hockey, or else it would have hurt Jozu.
Yeah, who knows? I'm not even sure because I know we definitely didn't see it imbued like we do later on.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard with that because
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of hard. I was thinking about it. It's also, we don't know what was used as hockey before we learned about hockey.
And yeah,
yeah,
and
unless it was explicitly stated, like when
Yeah.
Whitebeard went to go stab Aokiji.
but
And
Gart,
for what
listen,
McCoy
but
was
listen. Gart was able to punch Marco. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
he just
exactly.
straight punched him, and I don't think Marco had his had that cuff on him either. So
No, he was in his bird form.
Gart connected somehow with Marco, so that he had to be using hockey or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
according to that, if you just go off of that,
Yeah.
hockey has to have something has to be able to. If Gart is able to punch somebody who can heal and be intangible, and he could punch him and actually lay some damage on him, that means that Marco's not fully invulnerable. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I would say that's
that I
hockey,
agree.
and I would say we know that Katakuri can use hockey as well, and he can use ranged. He can use ranged attacks with armament hockey when he produces those fists out of his donuts. Hold on, let me check the chat out, guys. Give me a second. Elid says, when are you going to talk about Rayleigh versus Beppo? You can restrict Sulong to give Silvers a chance.
Loud.
And then we got Sneaky Noah King. Shout out to Sneaky Noah King, and shout out to Elids as well. They say, yeah, Marco fought with Kizaru. His speed is up there for sure. Yeah, I think Marco's fast. I don't think he's faster than King flying.
Hold on, what the fuck, Q? What you trying to do in the chat?
Say what?
You trying to set up a subscriber fight between me and Angel?
Well, and I was also just gonna say the question we were wondering about earlier with the
Oh,
flames.
Oh yeah, that.
Cube.
Wild
But-
in the chat.
What was
But
you
I
saying,
want to
Adam?
answer to Sneaky Noah King what he just said.
Okay.
If you look back, because I saw it, and it's true that he's not supposed to be intangible, but when he has his flames around him on the bird, you could see in Marineford he was being shot at, and it's the same reaction on a Delphid user. If you look at the other admirals, so even though I say intangible, it's just his blue flames makes it intangible because I think he regenerates very fast. But it's the same effect if you
Yeah.
look at it.
Yeah, because Kizaru's lights were damaging him. He was just healing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still the effect is still to a point where it's just like attacks don't really do nothing to them if they not coated with hockey, pretty much. But yeah, good point. Good point, y'all.
Like, I don't think Marco's stamina is really up there because he couldn't last long holding back King and Queen. Like, he was tiring out
Yeah.
very quick.
But he was also healing a lot of people. Like he did. Actually, Marco. The
True.
problem with Marco is that he did so much stuff.
Yeah.
We don't know how much is his stamina. He doesn't have Kaido stamina, that's for sure.
And you got,
But I do feel like his stamina is a bit much over average, but not Kaido level.
And you gotta think, holding back two guys that are pretty much like on par with you, that's gonna be tiring right there. You know, like as amazing
Yeah.
as that feat was itself, it's still probably took a lot to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, like
So-
it was just a few seconds to get Zora
Yeah.
to the roof, right?
Yeah, I mean, just hold it. You know, like I don't think holding back somebody is necessarily a feat either. It's like, or it's not like a feat that you could beat the person because he was just holding them. You know, but still. Yeah, so I would probably go with Katakuri. You know, I was kind of sold on Marco, but I think D LaJoy Boy kind of turned me back to the light side. So I'm gonna have to go with Katakuri. So yeah, I think we could get a voting on this one. Y'all ready for a vote on this one? All right.
Yeah,
So
man.
Yep.
in one corner, we have, you know, the was he the first commander of the Whitebeard Pirates? You know, Mr. Pineapple Head himself, Marco. And in the other corner, we have the GOAT, the real captain of the Straw Hats, and the future captain of the Big Mom Pirates. He's just gonna be captain of everybody. I'm saying that right now. And the GOAT himself, Katakuri. Charlotte D. Katakuri. We giving him the title D, baby. No, I'm joking. But all right, so 1 in the chat for Katakuri, 2 in the chat for Marco. 1 Katakuri, 2 Marco. I guess I'll go first. You know, I'm always asking y'all to go first, so I'll go first on this one. I'm gonna go with Katakuri, and the reason why I go with Katakuri is I think the advantage. Like, I think Marco has the advantage of flight and his mobility, but I think all in all, Marco has to get close in order to inflict damage. And just because he has to pretty much get close to inflict damage, I think that's where Katakuri is going to be able to take advantage of Marco. Even though Katakuri, it's going to be a who fight first. I think, like, who's able to inflict damage first, and you know, because I think Katakuri has to figure out a way around Marco, and I think Marco is vulnerable to hockey at the end of the day, and I think Katakuri is going to win because of that. So, yeah, I'm going with Katakuri. Now, if Marco had some, if he had like long range attacks that could hurt Katakuri, I might have to go back with Marco, but I don't know. I don't think he does. So, I'm going with Katakuri. Who wants to go next? 1 for Katakuri, 1 in the chat for Katakuri, 2 in the chat or comments for Marco.
You know, we're
Okay,
just gonna have a bunch
so
of things in the chat that are just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 with nothing to know which one they're talking about.
That's why I keep trying to. I think they've been. I
I mean,
going.
the comments later.
Huh?
In the comments later.
Yeah. I know. I just realized that right before you said that. But, hey, they could say their thoughts. You know what I'm saying? They could
Good
say
point.
if you're watching this in the comments, just say say the fight and who you think wins that fight. You know. But
okay, then
go ahead, Cube.
okay, so I think it will be Joy Boy who will win this fight. No, I'm just kidding. I give it to Katakuri because Elid said it in the chat, but it's what I'm thinking in terms of feat. Katakuri has shown more prowess. Marco has shown that he has great stamina, but it's just that he doesn't have shown great diversity and great, overwhelming power to be able to say that he beats Katakuri.
Yeah.
I can go next if it's.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's. I mean, I think it's Marco, and I think it's like easy. And I think that the feats are all there. Marco's taken a hit from every single admiral and didn't even get hurt. He took a hit from Garp, and he got knocked away, but it didn't even get hurt. He held off King and Queen without getting hurt, and was totally fine to then go hold off Big Mom and Parasparrow together and didn't get hurt. And his flame attacks they don't burn, but they can create a physical force. So he can just fly in the air and shoot, like we were talking about with King earlier. So Marco, I mean, I know we're not including like awakens and stuff, but I almost feel like if you're a phoenix fruit, if you die, you might even wake up and be stronger like Luffy just did. So it's like I think that Marco would pretty easily be able to stay away from the mochi, and I wonder if maybe even like as far as like the hurt stuff goes, I'm not even sure if yes, the hockey does definitely hurt Marco, but we haven't seen it produce lasting damage. So I really, really wonder with that stuff. But I think Marco wins. Uh, I vote for Marco.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I call Marco a glorified tank. He's just good, glorified, good at taking
That's a good
damage.
point, good point.
I don't, but offensively, he's never impressed me. That's why I've never gave. I've
He
never
did cut
gave.
Kizaru.
I've,
He
I've
did
ne-
cut Kizaru.
I mean, Kizaru was pretty much fine at the end of the Marine Ford though, but I mean, I guess
So was Marco.
I guess he gave a little damage to Kizaru. I guess you could give him that, but it's like, other than that, he just tanks stuff. He's
Marco was fine
for the most part his feats.
Marine 4 too.
Huh?
Just Marco was fine at the end of Marine 4 too. If that's a category.
I remember seeing him a little more bruised up or banged up than somebody like Kizaru but all right, so you one for or two for Katakuri and one for Kizaru, or not Kizaru. One for I was about to say Sabo after that. One for Marco. So I guess it's Joy Boy. What's up?
Yeah, so for me, I think it's Cat, pretty between probably easy and mid, a little bit towards the mid diff area. I just don't think Marco has the damage output to really affect Cat too much.
Yeah.
And I think Cat would be able to wear Marco down, because I think his stamina does have a cap.
I think hockey has been shown to work on him. It's just he hasn't been hit with hockey enough for any lasting effects. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I have to think as the first commander of the Whitebeard Pirates that Marco has hockey as well.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think he can still get damaged from it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's going to be his undoing, is taking the damage of the hockey. I don't think. I just think Katakuri is going to be able to avoid most of what Marco brings too. What are you saying?
True, and I feel like it's true for every fight in One Piece. Whoever gets hit with the most hockey probably loses.
Yeah. All right. So in the comments, we got one for Marco, from Sneaky Noah King. Elis said Marco just does not have enough 1v1 feats. Unfortunately, based on reputation, I would give it to Marco, but the feats we have seen favor Katakuri.
That's true.
Angel's Room said Katakuri got them Big Mom genetics, but after hearing y'all arguments, Katakuri. And then so far we only got two people for Marco, and that's Adam and Sneaky Noah King. And Angels said it's more like he kicked him back and Marco had some bruises. End of the war. Elis said Marco does get hurt. He just regenerates. However, if he were run out of stamina, then it won't matter. Whether one of the either wins it's going to be hard fought battle. Nothing easy or mid. Yeah.
And for Ildis, you're right. Marco only fights one on multiple because he's so strong.
That's what you want to tell yourself, Adam. No.
Exactly.
Hey, so then I guess Sanji always fights the strongest characters.
Maybe that's a future stream. Sanji's the strongest. We still know it.
I always say, like, since beginning of the time skip, man, Sanji's fought Sanji's always clashed with characters that was way stronger than him. You know, like he clashed with Virgo.
No, definitely.
He clashed with Doflamingo, where Zoro was clashing with nobodies.
Fujitora? Fujitora is a nobody?
No.
Hello?
That's
But
that's the
in
only character he
Hunter.
clashed with. That was like the only strong character he clashed with. Zoro.
Well, I
He
mean,
beat
I
he
think
beat Hody in
now.
the water easily.
Hody was
True.
Hody was
Yeah,
kind
but
of
Hoodie's like a.
Hody was kind
Well,
of
Hody
I
just
mean,
had the
Ho-
advantage, homeroom advantage. That's all.
Yeah.
Hody
Well, and
was
Hody still lost pretty easily.
Hody was getting power ups and was still getting his
Bodied,
butt
yeah.
handily. You know what I'm saying? Like, only reason why he had advantages over Luffy is because Luffy had to fight him underwater, and you know what I'm saying? Luffy wasn't as mobile at one point. Like Luffy had to avoid his bubble popping.
True.
Like,
if we on the Sanji or not the
I'm
Zoro
saying
hate train, I mean Zoro took down
oh
Killer
no,
in the 2v1.
it's not
I'm
Zoro.
not on the Zoro hate train. I'm
It's
not
not
saying I
Zoro.
don't.
It's not a Zoro hate though. It's just stating a lot of people act like Sanji's a bum, but like since the time skip, Sanji had like many clashes with people who
Totally.
far outclass him and Zoro. You know what I'm saying?
And even before
Yeah,
that, he even had a showing against the boss, like with the Nelly. He gets beat up, but it's like he always kind of almost as like a gauge of like an oil gauge of where the crew's at. He fights the main bad guy to see where we're at. Almost quite a few arcs.
Like Zoro is never put in the position. Well, I'm not saying never, but Zoro post time skip, Zoro never really been put in a position except for Fujitora where he had to fight somebody. He had to fight somebody that he had no chance against. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's hard to find those people when you're that strong.
True. We can say the same thing for Luffy.
Do you think Doflamingo couldn't beat Zoro at that point?
No,
at that point?
You think Zoro would beat Doflamingo?
No, I think Dofi beat Zoro. At that point?
What about Virgo?
Yes.
What about Virgo?
No.
Wait, so you have Zoro beating Dofi, but not Virgo?
No. I'm saying I don't think Virgo would beat Zoro. I think Zoro would beat.
Okay. Because I mean, Zoro couldn't cut Dofi's string, or at least the bird cage.
I don't think
No,
Zoro.
but I would almost think of it almost at that point that it would become like sword versus string as his sword, and eventually I just feel like Zoro would cut through.
But Zoro now versus Dofi? Absolutely.
I don't think Zoro.
I agree now. I'm saying maybe not cut through the string, but just get through the string and cut Dofi. Without like it was a sword, without cutting through the sword. Somehow still cut him eventually. Like a regular sword fight.
I don't think Zoro's beating Virgo. Now Zoro, yeah, but at that time I don't think Zoro would have beat Virgo.
It seemed like somehow Virgo lost the law with no hockey. So I don't even know with what
Virgo lost the law in Smoker.
I mean, okay, but he kind of beat Smoker, and then
Smoker was
cut him in
fucking
half.
on the ground.
But he still had to fight Law and Smoker. It was still pretty much a 2v1 the whole time. And I would say Law would beat Zoro at that point. Law freaking beat the whole. I agree. He beat all of the Straw Hats. I mean, he beat.
No, I agree. I think Law
pretty much was like, "Hey, room, y'all. Now Zoro, you're in Nami's body. Now fight me."
Totally.
But yeah, Virgo. It took all that for Law and Smoker to beat Virgo. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do just want to highlight at that point we had seen hockey as a physical form in swords and in bodies at that point, and Law somehow cuts through all of Virgo's hockey using no hockey at all. So I think that whole thing is a weird fight, but I do think that Zoro would beat Virgo eventually.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I think it'd be a hard fight with Luffy, honestly. At that point,
it might be a hard fight.
I think Luffy would win. I think Luffy will win against Virgo in a hard fight, but I think he was the only one there that would have like 1v1. Well, maybe Law. Like Law could have probably if he didn't have Smoker's help, he could have possibly still came out with the win. But
well, about that. So like, if Law cut through Virgo without using hockey, and then he had to cut the whole island in half.
Using his devil fruit,
exactly. But,
using his devil fruit ability.
But then also Zoro literally cut through all of Dressrosa with Pika, pretty much.
True.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think,
But Law didn't.
I don't know.
But hold
I don't
on,
know
hold
if
on, hold on, hold on,
Luffy
hold on. But Law didn't just use his. It wasn't just a normal sword attack. It was a devil fruit ability. You know what
It
I'm
was
saying?
hockey list against hockey, so it was definitely something weird.
It was his devil fruit. It was his. It was.
Which shouldn't work against hockey, I thought.
That it shouldn't work against hockey.
I thought that hockey canceled out devil fruits. That was the whole point. That was what made what made hockey so.
I don't think it
what
cancels.
made devil fruits so
I
susceptible.
don't think it
was that
cancels out.
hockey-
I don't think it like straight cancels. Like if like as far as like grabbing somebody who's like a Logia, like yeah, I guess you could grab them and cancel out their devil. So yeah, to a degree, but I think just because you use armament hockey, that's not going to stop Law's ability from doing what it wants. Like it could in some ways, but it's like you.
I'm just saying it's weird. I'm not saying either way. I just think there's a lot more to that moment than we are.
You're
as far as talking fair fight.
You're not. You're kind of taking away how ridiculous Law's ability is. He's messing with time and space. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just some. It's not just some normal, some regular schmegular devil fruit ability. You know
I agree, but we saw him trying to do that earlier in the fight and it not working because of the hockey. And then
maybe he laced hockey, but either way, that attack was still using his devil fruit ability. Yeah, he probably could have used hockey as well. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying it was like he uses devil fruit ability with that. Maybe on top of hockey, so that just makes the attack even more than just what Zoro did. You know what I'm saying? Zoro's just doing the normal slash with hockey, possibly, where you got Law who probably used had a devil fruit, his OP no me splash with hockey.
So, yes, I agree. We did see that with Dofi and with Virgo that through just sheer armament hockey, you could stop Law's cutting through anything ability. So something definitely seemed weird to me, at least, when there's no hockey or armament shown around the sword or arms, that he cuts through a full Virgo body of armament hockey, when just a few pages earlier in the fight, that is stopped with just hockey, and then later on is also against Doflamingo, stopped with just hockey. So I agree with you. I think it's all weird. I just something to look at.
Yeah, I think Zoro with his, one gorilla, two gorilla, plus hockey on his swords. I don't know. I think that's going through Virgo.
Well, the pressure too. So he might, just like Luffy, if Virgo was really, bringing the effort out of him, I do think that Zoro would eventually, evolve up and overcome it.
Okay, Elid said Smoker didn't do much to help Law beat Smoker. All right,
good point.
You mean Virgo? He got his heart back, but that was to even out the playing field. Law beat Virgo. Zoro could beat Virgo at the beginning of the time skip, which I definitely do disagree with. Zoro has shown nothing in the beginning of the time skip to beat literally Zoro was feetless for till Dressrosa. So I mean,
I would argue that
I'm not giving Zoro no wins when he was feetless. Like I needed to he had some feats there. Huh?
Okay, but so with that, you have to. Zoro's the same power all the way up until Wano until he gets Enma. So you got to look at it like that.
True.
He has the same power.
Yeah, he has no power up until he gets Enma.
Yeah, and he's not tested until King. He does not have a good opponent until King.
You're not telling me like he wasn't training or nothing. You telling me training?
The only thing from Wano he got was the Foxfire style, from what I've seen. He didn't get no Rio.
But since King, right? Because they've been in Wano for a while. It's not like they was in Wano for a couple days. They've been in there for a while. It's a lot of time to train, man. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time to train for somebody like. I'm talking about I'm talking about post time skip, right? Post time skip. Zoro he hadn't really zero feats until he got to Pika. Now,
I agree.
I personally feel as though Pika was just underwhelming because he just had a crazy devil fruit. But he was like one of those super. I think all of the executives were pretty underwhelming as hills to get over. You know what I'm saying? And so Zoro didn't really have any real opponent till what?
Exactly.
Kamazo maybe. Kamazo.
And not even then, it was a 2v1.
Killer was like the first decent opponent for him, I guess. And that
A
was
little bit.
after being in
Not
Wano
even.
for how long?
True.
Not even.
So,
And he
so,
never
so
scored.
you're
He never
telling me
scored.
you're telling me from the time skip to the time he fights King, he had all this time to, get stronger. You know what I'm saying? But based off of how he does against King, I'm supposed to believe he would have beat Virgo a couple months possibly. I don't know how much time went past, but a couple months.
It's only like
Huh?
I'm saying that we didn't see him tested because no one's been strong enough in the new world as a second person until King to even test Zoro.
There's been
And
plenty.
it's like when they were in Punk Hazard, he chose not to fight the girl with the ice. When they were in, he fought King or whatever, but he kind of handled King without getting hurt really at all. And then I don't think he fought again until.
But I agree with that. I agree with that, but it's still no feats. It's not like
it's not about feats.
There's no feats
Like,
from a Hawk, and everyone thinks he's so strong.
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
What Q? Go ahead. I like Q because
He's got the. Yeah. First of all, before I enter to that discussion, it's because the author of the story told us that his title is the best swordsman, and we go by what the story. So first of all, I'm squashing anything about Mihawk.
Mihawk, come on, like really?
Mihawk is the number one swordsman.
What I'm saying is we have nothing to gauge. All I'm saying is we have nothing to gauge how strong Zoro was at Punk Hazard.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So we can't sit here and say he would have beat Virgo because we have nothing to gauge how strong
in
Zoro was.
True.
I get.
King
Hold on. I get the fact he didn't have a challenge, but that. Okay, so what? He didn't have a challenge. That, again, Oda could have gave him a challenge.
Higher. King was higher in Dofi's crew than Virgo.
Hold on. I get that. I'm saying,
and so
all I'm saying is Zoro was feet. All I'm saying is Zoro didn't have any feats to measure how strong he gotten during the time skip until what? Maybe Pika, I guess. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Pika. I meant Pika earlier. Pika was higher in Dofi's crew than Virgo. So him handling Pika pretty easily means to me you could probably handle Virgo.
Absolutely, and he had no power up. There was
exactly,
no power
up. Anything.
Was he higher?
Yes.
Pika was second in command, I thought, in Dofi's crew.
Yes. Well, no,
but Virgo wasn't an.
They were at least level. They were all cards.
Hold on. Virgo wasn't an active. He was active, but he wasn't active because he was like a spy. So he couldn't be like sit there and be like the second commander of a crew when you're part of
I agree.
Just
but they have to at least be comparable.
Put in a position because Virgo was far more impressive than Pika. Well, I mean, again,
Pika made everyone dress Rosa. Everyone dressed Rosa was screwed because he was controlling everything.
Yes,
and Zoro,
and that's my point. That's my point. He has a super OP ability, but as a fighter,
as a
fighter, huh? What'd you say?
Is the devil fruit abilities not part of the power scaling powers now?
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying, but as a fighter, he wasn't that impressive. Yes,
as a fighter, Zoro's never been impressive.
I'm giving him. He had a great devil fruit ability. He did, but he just wasn't that impressive as a fighter. None of them, none of the executives were really that impressive.
I agree. You know I agree.
He had a super OP devil fruit, but that was the only. And all I'm saying is that was the only thing going for him because as a fighter, he didn't really have nothing else. I mean, he had hockey, but I mean that didn't really help.
Okay, hold up. Thank you, Sneaky. If Zoro uses Ashura, Virgo is done. He is not taking that. I agree. 100% with Sneaky.
He could do that before time skip, so we can even I would get into an argument about that.
Based on that,
but I think Zoro might be able to win time skip.
Let me read. Say what?
Well, I don't know about that.
I would go to the point that I think with Zoro and how he kind of has the same ability as Luffy, just he's not tested in the same ways as Luffy because Luffy fights the strongest person. But whenever Zoro is really, really tested, he always evolves and just like Luffy gains more powers during a fight. So Virgo showing up and all he can really do is hit. I think Zoro is gonna be able to, eventually train himself during the fight, like we've seen in every big fight he's done, and overcome it, even pre-time skip. I think at the end, like maybe at the end when they're not like hurt from Thriller Bark, but like that level of power, I at least think it's a lot closer than just Virgo winning hands down, like he did against Law and Smoker at one time.
I think Zoro post time skip, honestly, easy to Virgo.
True,
All
true,
right,
definitely.
All right, hold on. Elis said Law beat Virgo. Zoro could beat Virgo at the beginning of the time skip. Angel Room cut a Logia with no hockey. Elis says the thing is Zoro didn't do training until Wano.
Yes.
I could agree with that, I guess.
Sneaky
He
Noah,
was strong enough not need to.
and that's all I said. I'm saying he from him. I'm just saying don't compare the Zoro that fought King with the Zoro pre-time.
No.
I
That's
meant-
why I was saying.
No, I'm saying
sorry,
somebody
Enma.
said that. Somebody was like, that's all I was saying though, right there. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I apologize. I messed up. I kept calling him King because he was the king, whatever in the suits that that Doflamingo's crew did, but he was his name was Pika.
I just remember
Yeah, he
somebody
was talking
bringing
about
up
Pika.
King and the fight with King, and I'm like, bro, that was like,
Yeah, no,
that
he was meaning Pika.
That was like
he was meaning Pika.
months
Yes, my
or
whole
weeks.
point, when I was saying King, I meant Pika. I meant when he fought Pika with no extra train after Punk Hazard, he was probably at a level that could have handled Virgo. I'm saying with the same easiness that he handled Pika, not King.
Okay. Sneaky Noah King said Virgo is Toby Ropo level. Zoro is prominent in hardening.
I don't know how we know any of that.
Virgo throws at Zoro, he will block it, and Zoro can use his blitz attack like Onigiri. And best him, Zoro hasn't been pushed. Angel Room said bigger feet than cutting with full body hockey, in my opinion. Bigger feet than cutting. I'm trying because some of these
He's talking about
comments are kinda back.
Oh yeah, Pika had full body hockey too, didn't he?
Yeah,
but
not in his form,
with
though, not in his
cutting a
form.
Logia with no hockey. He's talking about the bitch that had the snow fruit. I think.
Oh, okay. The Harpy lady.
Yes.
God, what is her
But
name?
I think he used his hockey
Yeah.
to knock her
I
out
don't-
instead of
that
cutting
was
her.
that wasn't
I
a
think
cut,
he
though.
an
did too,
angel.
That was
yeah,
like
I thought he did too.
there was
I thought that
more
was a
to that.
conqueror's hockey clue.
Yeah, there was more to it. It wasn't just no normal cut though. Like that wasn't a normal cut. That was like
Yeah, it was.
that was like
I think that's a
some
hockey
Conqueror's
feat
hockey
for
or
Zoro.
something.
He cut through her enough to show her that he could cut through her without hurting her, which I thought was like a total like power move.
I think it's something to do with
She was a Logia.
I don't even know if he used hockey. I think he just kind of like scared her, like like
Exactly.
Maybe
It was
it,
something.
maybe he put so much fear into her that it like messed up her ability to really put herself back together. But I don't know.
Definitely a feat to me.
It definitely wasn't just a normal cut though. It was maybe
I
some
agree.
Conqueror's hockey or something.
I agree.
Elis says sure he did his push-ups and all his regular workout, but nothing major. And then Sneaky Noah King said if Zoro use or we already read that one.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like Zoro doesn't have he might have did his regular weightlifting to Wano, and then on Wano he might have did some refining of his swordsmanship, and he got the Foxfire style. But he really doesn't get a noticeable power up until he gets Enma.
True.
So I think Zoro all the way up until he gets Enma is the same Zoro in Punk Hazard.
True. I agree. 100%.
Do you think y'all think Zoro would have beat Luffy? Post time skip.
Zoro versus Luffy pre Gear 5?
Post time skip Luffy. Like
Before Enma?
right after post time skip. Right after they just meet up. If they was the fight right there. They meet each other.
I think it might be dead even.
That's tough.
I really
When
wonder.
it comes to cutting.
Exactly, that's what I'm wondering. Because with the cutting, that could maybe account for any lacking Zoro hockey mastery at that point. Maybe the cutting is enough to help with that. So yeah, I really wonder. I really wonder how much of the series they have the same they have the same type like level power, except
and
sometimes it specializes in cutting, and then sometimes it specializes is in big hits, like for Luffy.
yeah, and with that, like, that goes back to like the whole Roger and Rayleigh thing. Like, they're comparable. Even with Shanks and Big Batman, they're comparable.
Too. I mean, the very first island on the Grand Line, they do that bazooka thing together, and it's like they seem pretty even without really trying too hard. But it's like, oh, that I really wonder who's strong. I never really thought about who was stronger, and then it's like, oh, I wonder who's stronger.
Because like I've always seen them like right on the same level.
Me too. That's why I never, no offense to anybody with the Sanji stuff, but it's like I like Sanji, whatever. But I've always kind of thought that Zoro was supposed to be the second. Like it's always him and Luffy kind of the argument, and then Sanji and Zoro's a different argument.
No, I think that's always been. I think Zoro has always been the second strongest. I just think Sanji. I don't think there's that big of a gap between Zoro and Sanji at the end of the day.
No, it's not.
I think Zoro
the
is ahead. I just don't think Sanji is that much weaker than people like to act like he is, and that's what annoys me.
Yeah, and that's why they're called the Monster Trio, because they're all clumped together because they are pretty close, but there's an obvious ranking.
Totally. I just remember that for a while there was like Mr. Morg videos about like Zoro and Sanji, all this stuff, and it's like I always kind of think of the three of them. It's like I just never understood the stuff, but I thought people were talking about it.
So, y'all think Zoro was stronger than Law at that time? And Punk Hazard?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know what to think about Law half the damn time.
It's true.
Law deserves to be in the same category as Kimimon, the most random power-ups across the post-time skip.
Kinemon did have that.
Start talking power-up.
That was random. I was like, bro, how was Kinemon so useless up to Wano, and now he's up there fighting Kaido and his crew. I'm like, what?
It's amazing what Spirit can do. It's amazing what Spirit can do in One Piece.
And that's like my main issue with Zoro, because it was just like, man, we never like, I don't know, I never got a true gauge of how strong Zoro was until Wano, right? Not so much Sanji either, but Sanji has more feats though. Sanji just had more feats against people. Like, I knew he wasn't strong. I could at least gauge Sanji because I knew he wasn't stronger than Doflamingo. You know what I mean?
I feel like on purpose.
With Pika,
yeah, I agree.
I can't really even gauge how strong Pika was either, because like Pika had a dope ass devil fruit ability. You know what I mean? But I didn't see him like beat somebody of any note. You know how like you like show how strong a enemy is by having him beat somebody you know how strong they are. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's always been my issue with how Oda treated Zoro post time skip, because it was like we could never get a real gauge. So to me, everything we got in Wano is just like to me, it's always been kind of contrived. It's like, oh well, we're just gonna make Zoro strong again because he's Zoro. So yay.
Well, no.
It was like I never got to see. Hold on, I never got to see any actual progression for Zoro post time skip.
Right.
Because we never had a base of where he was after they met up. So it was I never actually got to see any progression. I got to see that with Luffy.
I think that was on purpose though.
Huh?
Okay, well, think about it. He was training with Mihawk for 2 years.
Yeah.
When his first feat is shown cutting a boat in half, which is what Mihawk did in his introduction.
Totally.
Taking down a pacifista. I mean, it was because Zoro and Sanji, I think both of their blows individually would have taken down the pacifista.
I agree.
Okay.
And then we have Hody underwater. But then when it comes to boats,
are we using boats to measure power scale?
Yeah, because it's with their introduction. That's the first thing we see Zoro do power wise.
Dafugu cut
and
like
it's the first thing we see Mihawk do power wise.
Dafugu cut a bunch of boats. Dafugu cut a bunch of boats. So what?
But anyways, Oda couldn't really showcase Zoro too much because he would have just broke the fucking story in the first 2 arcs.
True. I really thought before King that the only test we were gonna see for Zoro until a certain point
My
pre-time skip
man
was gonna
said he
be
cut
Mihawk.
the boat though. Like what?
It's a symbolism thing because he was training with Mihawk.
Oh,
Mihawk, when he
I get
first
it's a
shows up,
symbolism thing,
he
but we
cuts up.
talking about power scaling. We not talking about cutting boats, bro. Like
Okay,
I'm not
he
going.
was training with Mihawk for 2
I'm
years.
not.
The
I'm not
world's
going to take.
greatest swordsman.
Listen, I'm not
After
going.
training with Mihawk for
Hold
2
on,
years,
Adam. Hold on, Adam. Let me address what he said. God dang.
I was
Oh
trying
man.
to. Sorry.
So I'm not gonna take away your other points, but a boat. You really gonna use the boat though? Come on now. Dafugu
Yes,
cut multiple
absolutely.
boats.
Symbolism works.
Dafugu cut multiple boats. Okay. It's a goddamn boat, bro. Come on.
It's just the symbolism because that's the first time we see Zoro after training with Mihawk.
I get the
So
symbolism,
that's why,
but the
because
symbolism
Oda,
is
that's
irrelevant
exactly
to the
why
power
Oda
scale
did that.
argument, man.
So for me, after training with Mihawk for 2 years, I expected Zoro to be much, much stronger than he was pre-time skip. And honestly, before King, I thought the first real test we would actually see for Zoro was Mihawk, because that's what I'm expecting. He should be ready to fight Mihawk now. He's just been training with him for 2 years.
Let me ask y'all something. Let me ask y'all something. Who is the strongest person that y'all believe Zoro could have beat at post time skip? Adam, you first. The strongest person Zoro could have beaten.
Are we
post-time-
talking getting Enma or
beginning-
after getting Enma?
Beginning of the time skip. Beginning of the time skip. Who
So,
is
so
the
pre
strongest?
Enma.
He would have beat everybody up until King and Kaido.
No, I didn't ask you that. I said
Ooh.
I asked you who is the strongest character y'all believe Zoro could have beaten post time skip.
That's what I'm saying. Every single character that the strongest.
No, I will give me a person. I don't not like you like.
Okay,
Shanks,
okay. Sorry.
Kaido, King. Name somebody.
Sorry.
I don't care about the people that we got up to this point because a lot of them were bums.
I'm sorry.
A character, a character that we know in the story. Any character we know
I think
in the
he would
story.
beat every single person on Big Mom's crew except for Big Mom. I think he would beat every single person on
beat
Kaido's
Katakuri?
crew except for Kaido and King.
He would beat
I think he
Katakuri?
would beat. Yes, I think he would beat Katakuri. He has a sword. We talked earlier about the damage with the sword and cutting.
That's all you had to say. Because so far Katakuri is the strongest person, aside from maybe King as well. You know, King Katakuri. So you think
Big Mom?
You think the biggest? Well, yeah, you said besides Big Mom. That's why I didn't say Big Mom.
Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about the people who you think he could beat, like the strongest character you believe that Zoro.
I'm not
could
saying
have
all
beat.
at once. I'm saying one-on-one fights. Yeah, he wins
Yes,
all those
I'm
up until there.
I just wanted one character. You didn't have to, just one character. The stronger, the top level to where it's like anybody beyond that he's losing to. That's all I want to know. So you're saying you're saying King?
Yes, yeah. I'm saying everyone under Queen. I guess for your definitions of who he would beat would be everyone below Queen level on King's crew.
So
yeah, Katakuri he would beat Jack. He would beat those equivalents.
So you think Queen is stronger than Katakuri?
I do think that Queen is stronger than Katakuri.
All right, I'm not going to argue that. I'm not arguing that. That's not the argument. I was just asked.
That's why I wasn't trying to use it as an example. That's why I was trying to say.
I'm fine with that. I'm not. I just wanted a name. So you believe Katakuri, or you say everybody under Queen. So that's being like stopping at Katakuri, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Katakuri, Jack. He would beat everyone in Big Mom's crew except for Big Mom, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. So Q, who you think the strongest character Zoro could have beaten the beginning of post time skip?
At the beginning of post time skip, okay. Then I'm gonna say something to Adam afterwards because there's one thing I didn't agree, but I didn't want to break his pattern of speech. So
we can argue after. I just want names.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking right now. Pop. Beginning
I don't
time
think
skip.
Katakuri's all that.
Okay.
I team beat Virgo. But after reaching Dressrosa, after Dressrosa, I'm not sure.
So
I'm not sure if he could have beaten the other ones, Katakuri or.
You saying the strongest character you believe Zoro could have beaten was Virgo?
Virgo and most of the commanders, other than the Flamingo, the pirate crew. The
So
Flamingo's
the
pirate crew.
executives.
His pirate
the
crew. His
executives.
commanders, he can defeat them.
All right, the executives. What about you, Joy Boy? Strongest character Zoro could have beaten, to where it's like anybody beyond that, Zoro's losing.
It's hard. It's hard because you gotta go to the strength ranking. Because I mean, we already know you don't have him beating Virgo, so
No, I want to know y'all opinions.
that's
There's a point to why I want to know y'all opinions, but I want to know why I want to know y'all opinions.
Toughest character post time skip he can beat. Pre in the. I think Killer. Like okay, so with
Killer.
yeah, because
Bro,
I
they
think
were like
I have for me
like
I have Killer
peers.
over. I have Killer like under Cat for me, and then like so. But I
they're
have like
peers,
Dofi
though.
up there. I think he takes care of Dofi's crew.
I mean, somebody
Or
who's not
Dofi.
like a peer of Zoro, somebody who you could like. I think most people believe he could beat Killer, but we don't. Where does Killer
think Killer's
fall?
pretty
Like,
strong.
where does Killer kind of fall in that rank? Like,
Well,
like
that's what I
somebody
was
who
saying.
we
That's what I
know
was
of.
saying. That's what I was trying to get out. That's what I was trying to get out. Because like
could
I
see
have
Killer
Dofi over. I have Dofi over Killer. I have Cat over Killer.
He hurt Kaido too, didn't he? Like he
Yeah.
hurt him with that stab thing. So I think he's at least Katakuri level. I mean, for Killer.
Well, I mean, Kaido's also just sitting there tanking it.
So you don't think he would have beat Doflamingo?
No.
Okay, so let's
not
look
pre
at
Inma. Not pre Inma. I
what
don't.
about Cracker?
I don't
What
think he
about
beats
Cracker?
Dofi.
What about
Yes.
Cracker? He beats Cracker.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
think Doflamingo's stronger than Cracker?
Yes.
I don't. Well, maybe with what he can do with his
With his
power.
string manipulation, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you would say Cracker, all right? Because I think Cracker is better than using Killer because we don't know how strong Killer was. Killer is literally like just the equivalent of Zoro. Maybe not quick. I'm not saying he's as strong as, but he's just kind of like Zoro. He's like where kid.
That's why I was
you could say
using the
kid is.
hurting
And I think Zoro like beats Killer pretty easily on a
I think he
1v1.
does too, but that's
Yep.
why.
But I think
that's why I
past
don't.
that, it's really 50-50 for me for any other fights.
But I'm saying we don't really know where Killer falls. That's why I think Killer was a bad example to use. That's all I'm saying.
Using him because he hurt Kaido.
Okay.
Just because he was one of the 4 characters we've seen hurt, or 6 characters we've seen hurt Kaido.
I'm talking when I say tell me the strongest person that Zoro could be. I mean the strongest person where you could like measure their strength and say, okay, I feel as though because like Doflamingo, we kind of know where he falls in the pecking order, right?
True.
Same with Cracker. Same with Katakuri. Same with King to a degree and Queen. And
Well,
Jack
that's what I was trying to say with like the everyone under like the king and queen level on Kaido's crew because it seems like collectively we know what that power level looks like.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so
Bar Yonkos, then I guess Bar Killer, then probably Cracker. I would have to say that.
all right.
So you don't think he beats Katakuri or I guess Smoothie doesn't count.
I think Cat would be maybe a little too fast for Zoro.
Fair.
So Adam says Katakuri. Adam said I don't know why.
Well, I'm
that.
saying more than
But
Katakuri, but yeah, I guess.
Adam says Katakuri.
Post Emma, Zoro over Katakuri though.
Oh, totally.
I'm talking about post fresh.
Yeah,
out the
that's
post
what I'm
bounce.
saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's why I don't have Zoro beating Katakuri pre.
And that's
Yeah,
all,
right when he said
that's all I wanted. So you got up to Cracker. You got him beating Cracker.
Yes.
Dealer Joy. Cube got him up to who you say Cube? You said
I put Virgo in the list, but the Flamingo's commanders. So Dressrosa,
Virgo.
everybody Dressrosa.
okay.
Other than, of course, Fujitora, Sabo, and the Flamingo. Because I
And
don't
then-
think he can take any of
And
those
then
two.
Adam got Katakuri. Like Katakuri is the strongest. Let me see what some people saying in the comments. I'm curious if anybody else say. Angel said bigger feet than cutting. Angel said same could be said to Sanji. Thought all we knew about Sanji is this his cap not where he stands. Well, that's a measurement though. I could say if Sanji fought Doflamingo and lost to Doflamingo, I could easily say Sanji's not at Doflamingo's level. That question has been answered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we know that. We know that.
You know what I'm saying? I could say Sanji's not at Virgo level because it's been shown. It's there's a better gauge of where Sanji is, and I'm talking to Angel. Like, I'm talking to Angel because he kind of brought Sanji up.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
It's all good, but and then Angel said, "Lamo, y'all need to chill, calm. This is what Zoro discussion does to people." Yeah, it had people not using goddamn facts and logic. Y'all just be talking. Y'all just be saying stuff based off of nothing.
Well, why you dissing yourself like that, Blanc? Why you dissing yourself like that?
Y'all the one. Y'all literally have nothing to back what y'all saying up other than the bunch of speculation.
We do.
Anyway, hold on. Angel Room said Doflamingo. Sneaky said the strongest person he will beat before Wano is Smoothie. So Angel said it stops at Doflamingo. Sneaky says it stops at Smoothie. Angel Room said Killer didn't even really hurt Kaido. Katakuri though is wild. Angel said that's what Angel said. And my only point with this is, like, when I'm asking y'all these questions, is it's no real consistent answer where y'all could gauge Zoro consistently. Like, no, there's no consistent opinion across the board of where do you how do you measure Zoro pre-time skip? Well, at least before Wano, right? At least before the fight at Onigashima. There's no consistent answer because there's nothing to show where he ranks. You know what I'm saying? It's all speculation, which is my point. We don't know. We don't know how to measure post-time skip Zoro. It's just a bunch of, I think he does this because if this happens. It's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of like fan opinion. I'm not saying he's not as strong as some of y'all might say. I'm just saying there's no evidence to showcase that. That's all I'm saying.
Can I say something to that though?
But hold on, y'all getting mad at me because I'm pointing that out. That's all I'm saying.
You said he wouldn't be Virgo. That's why I'm heated.
Bro, I said he has no feats to back up some of the stuff y'all saying. I say I don't think. Look,
and we showed you.
Listen. If he beats Virgo, maybe he does. You know,
from the get-go. From the get-go of the story, you've always known.
He has no.
You've always known that Zoro is stronger than Sanji.
I'm talking, Adam. I'm talking, bro.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking. Okay.
Can I talk after you?
You can talk after me. I'm talking. Like I'm talking. I don't need you talking over me, bro. That's okay.
I apologize. I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that's what's frustrating me. It's the talk. It's the talking over me when I'm trying to get a point out. That's the part that I'm kind of getting frustrated with. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to yell or be projecting all that, but I feel like I got to because you. But yeah, all I'm saying is there is no evidence to show that he. Now I can give y'all that he could possibly be Virgo, post time skip. I don't think so, you know. But I'm not saying that's like off the wall. Now the whole Katakuri thing, that, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
I don't know what the hell you. Yeah. I don't know what makes you think that he's beating Katakuri. To me, that just sounds more like you just want to lowball Katakuri more so.
No, I'm not trying to do that either.
I don't even know if he could be. To the people saying Doflamingo, I think that's a stretch personally. I think Doflamingo is a stretch. Virgo, I don't think is a stretch. I don't agree that he would have beat Virgo, but I don't believe that being a stretch that y'all believe it. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm just gonna say this.
Can I talk?
Even before
let Adam talk because he did ask the talk, and then Q.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So just real quickly with everything you just said, because I agree absolutely with what you're saying. This is why I hate power scaling. I did not know this was a power scaling at first when we all agreed to do this, but I'm totally down for it. Versus or whatever. I guess I guess I didn't think that was so much power.
Related. But go ahead.
So absolutely. So when Joy Boy was talking about the symbolism stuff, we have known since the start of the story, symbolism, whatever wise, that Zoro is most likely stronger than Sanji. We have been given definitive evidence that Sanji loses to all these characters because we've seen it. You're absolutely right. And then we've been definitive evidence that Zoro either wasn't tested or handled his opponent very easily or beat the boss of the arc like in Fishman Island. Yeah. I feel like the entire story on purpose has been written because Oda likes to troll people and likes to troll power scalers and stuff, that it's impossible to argue with the way that it's written because, yeah, we always know Zoro's stronger than Sanji. We've seen Sanji lose, but it doesn't automatically mean that Zoro would. So it's not a good equivalent, even though we equate everything else through that with the monster trio. So
I'm
I
not
think
saying
it's
that.
intentionally written to be like that.
I'm not saying he'll lose because Sanji wasn't strong enough for him. I'm just saying I don't know where to. All I'm saying is I don't know how to gauge how strong Zoro was at that point. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. And
So
I'm gauging him on the stronger end, you're gauging
I'm
on the
just not.
weaker end.
I'm just not giving him defaults by victory off of portrayal.
I'm just
because
saying all he really got was the
because if
sword.
we're going to go off of portrayal, if we're going off of what the story says, then Zoro should not be able to beat anybody that Luffy has trouble beating with a gear. Like Zoro shouldn't be able to beat Katakuri post time skip.
Yeah, we've seen him
you
match
said, right?
equally
Just like
with
you
Admiral.
said. You said the story portrays that Zoro is always stronger than Sanji. The story
And
also
we've also
portrays
seen that admirals
the Zoro-
seem to be almost Yonko level,
The-
and
the
that Zoro had no problem
the
holding
story
an
also
admiral.
portrays that Luffy is usually the strongest in the crew. That's what the
But we
story
talked earlier
portrays.
about maybe it's always kind of up in
if
the air. We
story
don't really
portrays
know.
that, if the story portrays that, then Zoro post time skip should not be able to beat Katakuri, who Luffy
Yeah, I
had
thought
to
we
get a
were
whole
treating
power
them.
up. That Luffy had to get a whole power up in order to beat, or Doflamingo. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
right.
actually
give
agree
you
that he has
Virgo.
Zoro
I'll
didn't have
give
good
you Virgo,
opponents.
though.
I agree.
Okay, thank you.
I'll concede to Virgo that he might have beat Virgo. I'm not saying he would have beat Virgo.
That hands down beat
I'm
Virgo.
not conceding that. I concede that he might have beaten Virgo.
Negative.
But this
Okay.
idea that he will, based off of whatever, air, I guess.
Love you wildin' right now. You wildin', bro.
I mean,
Y'all
we
say
did
he-
discuss earlier that we saw Virgo get cut with no
Y'all-
hockey, and then it was
all I
just chalked
see,
up.
Like,
all I
okay.
see is you're using fanboy logic to say Zoro
I
beats
kind
Virgo.
of almost take offense to that because I'm just trying to use the same manga pages that you've read, and we talked earlier about how we didn't see any hockey being used for law. So this idea with this Virgo thing, I really don't understand how that can be the parameter of truth. When already in his defeat, we have no idea what happened there. So I mean I don't know.
I told you that I'll concede that he could possibly be Virgo. I'm just saying I'm not giving him an automatic W. You're giving him an automatic W. I'm not giving him
Yes,
an automatic
because it
if,
is.
If you want to believe that, okay, I'm not against that. I'm just not giving him an automatic W again.
I expected after training with Mihawk for 2 years that Zoro should outclass everyone to a certain degree because what really training can he do at that point except just with his haki or get better swords or whatever. So as far as power levels go in training, I'm not really sure what training he could add to his repertoire pre getting a better sword in Enma than what he's done pre
Exactly.
after the time skip.
Luffy trained with Rayleigh, and he actually got a lot of good amount of experience with fighting during that time
Also,
skip, too.
just training to learn the hockey
that didn't automatically put him above everybody that he came across.
No,
Well, yes,
I agree.
but on that, it was only half a year, right?
True,
and
and it was
then-
just to learn about hockey.
It was
He-
just the basics
So you
about
don't-
hockey,
But
and then Luffy found out the
but
rest by himself.
I didn't
True.
say he trained with Rayleigh. I said he trained with Rayleigh, and he was getting actual experience fighting strong individuals when he broke in the
Wasn't
Impel
Satan the
down.
strongest?
When he broke in the Impel down and had to fight, like he had to pretty much go through everything he went through. Like he was actually getting real experience. Plus,
I agree.
Plus training.
And
So
I
was
feel like
Mihawk,
Zoro the
or
best
so was
experience.
Zoro.
It's
Zoro
the
was
best
getting
sword
training.
team. I
Zoro was
agree.
getting training. Luffy was getting
Zoro-
training and experience, is what I'm saying.
I think
but
Zoro was getting
all I'm
experience
saying-
against Mihawk
But that didn't.
And the monkeys.
But despite
and the monkeys.
despite Luffy's all that Luffy went through too as well, because not like Zoro the only person who trained and everything, but despite all that, Luffy wasn't automatically stronger than everybody he came across.
I agree.
So why just because Zoro trained with Mihawk that just automatically
And
put
neither-
him above everybody? Like
And neither was Zoro though, because he had to learn through his fight with Das Bones. He had to find the
True.
voice of all things.
Exactly.
But I'm not.
That's why I was saying earlier. He evolved the same way.
Okay, but we're talking about during the time skip, not during the previous.
After the time skip.
pre-time
Okay,
skip.
okay. Here's a good. I got a question for you then. After the time skip, after his training and only fighting, as far as we know, only fighting against baboons and Mihawk for 2 years. Who have we seen Zoro fight that you're expecting to match Mihawk's level of intensity or Mihawk's level of fighting? Who do you think that Zoro fought pre-King and Queen and stuff that even comes close to Mihawk like that?
Did Mihawk fight Zoro during the time
I don't know
skip?
how they're gonna train. I mean, I don't know how else they're gonna train.
That's how he got his scar. That's what I always assumed.
That's what I kind of thought too.
Is that what we seen though?
But we didn't see it. We didn't see it though.
Because all I seen
Maybe
was
it's
Zoro
Arizona,
train.
yeah.
All I seen was Zoro train with baboons. I didn't see Zoro train.
Well,
with
he
Mihawk.
literally begged Mihawk to train him, and
Okay,
Mihawk said,
you're
"Yeah,
right.
sure, let's go."
Baboon cut out his eye, and
hold on.
couldn't have beat baboons pre.
Did you see Mihawk physically training with Zoro as far as like them exchanging swords and clashing and all that? Did you see that?
I mean,
No.
To train,
absolutely right.
can
You're
you train
right, I did
somebody?
not see that.
Can you train somebody without physically training them? Like, can you? I took martial arts, and you don't have to physically spar with people in order to train somebody.
You're right.
Yeah.
Considering everything about Mihawk and like how minimalistic he is, I'm sure his training consisted of
We
mass
didn't see the
amounts
training,
of
y'all.
manuals. And I'm sure it was tons of scrolls about how
Can
to
I help
fight
it? Can I
and
help
all
it?
that stuff.
Go ahead, Q.
Okay, so I was about to talk about this. The issue I have, and I like Zoro, but the big issue that Zoro has, and I think it's the same issue we have with Robin, is that they have a goal, and they have a goal that is only brings only badassery into their feet. The same thing as Robin is to discover the secrets hidden from the world. Zoro's entire deal is to become the best swordsman in the world.
True.
And I like the fact that we haven't seen Zoro's training, but people, and I've seen many times, people do a misconception on seeing that he was trained by Mihawk, and his goal is to surpass Mihawk. And he didn't have that much fight, but the few fights he had, he was always epic. And in Wano, he overthrown it. The only problem with I have all that is that at the end of the day, it's speculations. That's the thing. The
Yes.
problem with Zoro is that because that's a problem because his training, we've seen nothing except he's training baboon. Of course, I am also more on Adam's camp, saying that I think he had a more regular trainings than Railing. But at the end of the day, until we don't see it, it's speculation. Because I'm gonna see something
that's all
very.
I'm saying. It's speculation.
I'm
I'm not saying he hasn't fought Mihawk. Like, I'm not saying Mihawk hasn't fought him, but y'all acting like he was fighting Mihawk for 2 years straight, which we haven't seen any of the training. But I don't know how y'all getting these ideas. Y'all saying it like
Well,
it's a matter of
think
fact-ish. Like that's what's getting me, because y'all saying it like it's just factual, but it's like.
I think
It's
it's a
not
very
factual 'cause
fair
we haven't
assumption
seen
to
it.
come to.
But
I think it's a more than fair assumption to come to.
I can agree with that, but that again, we still don't know.
Also, I mean, we've also seen in flashbacks Zoro only considers
Hold on.
training to be
Let me
fighting.
read this. Let me read the chat. Gotta figure out where I left off at. Angel's Room said Katakuri most definitely tanking his Ashura attack. And then Sneaky Noah King says Zoro blocking Fuji with 2 swords, then Fuji pushing him into the ground and Zoro throwing out a slash attack and getting back up to fight him put him over Virgo for me. Okay. At least you use a feat. I give you that.
Oh my god!
But
Oh my
but still,
God,
it wasn't like
We
a full,
brought up Fujitora.
Okay,
We
but-
brought up.
Okay, all right,
Example.
okay. All right, I got you. But again, it wasn't like a serious fight. But okay,
And I guess we haven't seen that Admiral pre-time skip.
But I think one of y'all did bring up Fuji, and I did give that specific moment for y'all.
Because
I
you're
was
like,
just- I was
Zoro
talking more
hasn't fought, has only
Yeah, no,
fought
no,
nobody.
no.
But I was
I
like,
said
Fujitora.
no. Hold on. I said, because I said Sanji fought Daffy and Virgo, and then somebody was like, yeah, but Zoro clashed with Virgo, and I was like, or Fujitora, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. So it was Fujitora and Pika was the only people he really clashed with. I pointed that part out. I did give y'all that. When somebody say he
Well,
clashed
at
with
our
Virgo,
Bianco level.
huh?
You said we had only baseless feast.
I gave y'all that one. I gave y'all that though.
So that one wasn't good enough to say that he probably beats Virgo maybe easier than you think.
I don't think clashing with Fujitara and just kind of somewhat holding his own.
Okay,
And
but
not
you
like-
have
I
Sanji
don't think-
clashing against Dofi up there.
But I never said
It's
he
a
beat
loss,
Virgo.
too.
I said Sanji clashing with Dolphy gives you a better measurement of like Sanji's limitation. Like
I agree.
I use those moments because I feel as though Sanji has been better gauged than Zoro. Because Sanji hasn't been gauged that well either. But to me, we had a
He also
better,
beat Luffy, didn't he?
huh?
I mean, Sanji also, as far as what we saw in the pages, maybe Luffy didn't fight back, but Sanji
didn't fight
beat
back.
up Luffy.
He didn't
So,
fight
is
back.
that I don't know.
You can't.
Luffy didn't fight
Luffy didn't fight back. You can't.
So I'm just saying, sometimes what we see, as far as for these scales and for these matter of fact things or whatever, even what we see can't be true because of what we know the characters are doing.
Yeah, you gotta have context. I agree with that aspect.
So
But
I absolutely agree. That's just for me. That's part of what I was trying to say. I didn't explain it well enough. With the whole like we've seen it's like Sanji on purpose get these kind of bad feats in the direction of we know he's not this strong. And then Zoro, we've almost seen the opposite, but not to the point that it's like, he could beat the main bad guy or whatever. But it's like I think it's intentionally unclear, just to mess with F with us.
yeah,
And I don't think we've got our best power
but-
scaling until Wano for those two.
but
Totally,
all I'm
totally.
saying is, and it's not really much of a knock against Zoro. It's just I don't like how Zoro has been written post time skip. That's all I'm saying. Like
We've all got nothing to do pretty much.
We've never, and it's not even just Zoro because you could say that about most of Straw Hats because none of them really had much to shine. But I feel as though Zoro and Sanji being the big three, we should get some measurable feats of where they fall in the pecking order, especially in the beginning of the time skip.
And
Like
we had
with
a whole
Pika,
order.
For me, Pika, it just I didn't know how to gauge Pika. Like I know he had that dope devil fruit, but to me it was just like, is he just a weak guy that has this super OP devil fruit? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like he gave much. I don't know if it was.
He seemed so badass at first.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that situation was. If I give that more like, okay, this was Zoro just being, just outclassing him, or if this was Pika just not really living up to how strong he is. So it's hard because now if we would have got like some type of fight between Pika with somebody else that we know who is strong and see Pika like completely destroy that character, and then we're like, okay, he's at least stronger than that guy, and then Zoro comes along and low diffs Pika, then I could be like, okay, wow, now I see where I can measure Zoro.
Totally.
We never really had that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, okay, so on that, like with the power showcasing at the beginning of the time skip, Oda couldn't do that because Gear Fourth versus Hody, fucking negligible. The arc's over in a chapter. Snake Man versus Dofi? Are you kidding? Out of here. So he had to hold back on these characters until we got to Wano. Because that's what literally everything in post time skip has been building up to is this arc.
Why did Oda have to save that?
Because
for the story.
We had an arc focusing on Sanji, and the entire arc we didn't get one feat or anything good to show.
Hold on. I want to hear Joy.
So Oda's been holding these characters back.
Yes.
I'm saying for what exactly?
For
the story. Because if you let these characters go all out, like at the beginning of post time skip, what's the threat? What's the threat level at? It's nothing.
Growth,
progression. If we see Luffy go Gear 4,
progression's not a thing. Progression's not a thing. But Luffy
even split the crew.
Hold on. Luffy didn't go Gear 4, but we've seen Luffy progress. We've seen Luffy like he's like Hody Jones. Hody Jones was his first fight. It wasn't that great of a. Hody Jones was underwhelming.
He already knew Gear 4 at
Caesar-
that point.
Caesar was more of a challenge for Luffy. You telling me
I
Zoro
Because he
would-
didn't use Gear
you're-
4.
You're telling me
Hey,
Zoro couldn't
yeah.
get. You're telling me Zoro couldn't get some type of challenge, like just some type of challenge in Punk Hazard, like to push him a little bit. You telling me there couldn't have been like no progression to Zoro getting to where he's at in the story, like power wise, like
Pre-Wano
getting him
like character progression isn't a thing. That's what you're telling me. Like Zoro
No,
just
I'm not.
remains
I'm
the
saying
same.
power progression and character progression.
I'm
are two
talking
different
to
things.
Joy. I'm talking to Joy Boy because he's the one that said.
Yeah,
this.
yeah, okay. So that's the thing. Like, we have had a power progression because Oda has a story to tell with it. Because these characters had these, like Luffy had Gear 4 at the beginning of Time Skip. He probably had Snake Man at the beginning of Time Skip.
But we've
So
seen,
if
we got something from Luffy where we could measure how strong he was, though.
right, but what I'm saying is if these characters were going all out at the beginning of post Time Skip, it lowers the threat level for the story and for how the story can go up.
Bro,
And
like,
instead of
this is what I'm saying.
strong.
Four.
Look,
So Oda
don't
had to
make-
slowly release their
listen. So
like they basically had Rock Lee weights on.
So you're telling me this. Like Zoro couldn't have had like a lower starting point in the post time skip to where he eventually starts working up to where he could fight somebody like King. That's what you're telling me. It's impossible for Oda to write it like that. Like Oda couldn't write it that way. To where it would like Zoro could have been he could have been way stronger than pre-time skip, but still weak enough to give him a credible threat. And then where his opponents were like Pika was credible, but then Zoro has to get stronger from Pika, and then maybe if let's say Zoro did go to Whole Cake, he finds somebody to challenge him that he has to overcome that, and then he's where he's at in Wano. You're telling me that couldn't happen?
No.
Well, that's because Oda had to split up the crew, and like he does that because it makes it easier for him to write the story without so many characters around. Because I mean, Luffy did most of the fighting in Whole Cake until Sanji. Like Brook was in the background, like Brook MVP for that arc, but he was doing more background support stuff. Same with Chopper. Like I mean, what did Chopper do in that arc?
All right,
And then like Nami got her buff with Zeus, but like so that he had to split them up so it's easier for him to write the story. Because I mean, if you got all the Straw Hats on Whole Cake, I mean, it changes the story so much and makes it easier for the Straw Hats.
Yeah,
And to me, I would have a problem.
Hold on. I'll let you go, Adam. I'll let you go next. I just want to I want to read the chat real quick. I want to read
You're
the
fine.
chat.
You're fine. Sorry.
I'll let you or Cube go.
Actually, it's just to tell you guys, I'll have to head out because it's almost 2 a.m.
All right,
and it's time to go to bed.
All right, man. You have a good one, man.
See you, man. Good talking
Yeah.
again.
And I hope that your discussion will come to a peaceful agreement.
Angel said,
Okay, have a nice one, guys.
All right, Cube. Shout out to Cube.
See you, man.
Angel said Cracker is also crazy though as well, but if he has Nami with him, maybe. So Angel said he don't think that Zoro gets past Cracker either. Rage says Zoro can use advanced conquerors.
I think he was talking to about the pre-Wano thing.
I think Rage is talking about. I think he's talking. I think we had a joke about. Oh no, never mind. That was a different joke. And Ray said pre-Wano, then why Mihawk training? You are wrong here. Mihawk trained Zoro because Zoro defeated all baboons, and then he said you are only one left. Where did that happen? Where did that happen?
Yes.
Huh?
Because Mihawk asked him.
He was like, I'm not going to accept you back if you couldn't even beat those animals. And he's like, no, I beat all the animals. I'm just here to talk to you now.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of was like, I think it is implied they fought for training.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I forgot that. I'll get that. I give y'all that.
Well, hold up. On that too, Zoro was still injured, and he took down the baboons.
Yep.
Yeah, Ray
and
said,
he only had one sword or something. Or no, he has swords.
Yeah, and then he said, and he also had said why you want to get trained. He said to kill you, and Mihawk knows Zoro wants to save Luffy. Hey man, that was hard to read, man. Come on, Rage. Come on, Rage. Nah, let me stop though. Rage, I forgot Rage from
Yeah,
from anyway.
probably not
My
first
bad,
language.
but yeah, it's not his first language. My bad, bro. I don't mean. Well, that was a bit tough, man. That was a bit tough.
And we got
and then
Cube
he
waking
says-
himself in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not responding. And then Ray said, "That's not speculation, bro. You are ignoring main fact that defeated all." I conceded that. You got that. I forgot that part, but he wasn't. But when did that happen during the two years time skip when he beat the baboons?
It happened before it actually. We saw it.
Yeah.
It happened in the beginning of the time skip.
Yes.
It happened It happened right after when right before they got the newspaper for the 3D 2Y whatever.
Yeah.
He had beaten them. That's when he came back.
Yes.
He was like, I gotta train.
Yeah.
Because Mihawk told Perona to wrap them all up, and then that's when Zoro reads the newspaper.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, I was wrong about that part. I'll take that. Damn that Cube. I'll read the Cube's comments. And then he said we never saw the training as of now. It's speculation in what Mihawk taught him. Then
And that's what I agree with DeJoy. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the LaJoy boy. I agree with him because it's like you couldn't show how strong they were pre-time skip or post-time skip because it's like Hody Jones and that whole crew wasn't a challenge. That whole story, if we knew how they weren't even going to be a fight for him, who reading every week is diminished a little because the threat level's not there. So it's like the symbolic message of him doing the exact same feat as Mihawk after what as far as we know, is him training with Mihawk for 2 years.
all right.
It is kind of to me supposed to
Okay.
imply- yeah.
Let me finish this chat, man.
Oh, I thought that was. I'm sorry.
Nah.
That thing's behind. That thing's behind.
Yeah, it's behind. That's why I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, because every time I try to, we stop and have.
I mean, my things are behind, like what the chat last one was.
I was wrong about the Mihawk not fighting Zoro. I was wrong about that. I eat that. I forgot about that. I forgot when all that happened. But still, like him training with Mihawk for 2 years, even if it's 2 years straight, it doesn't mean that he's going to be stronger than Luffy. You know, and we seen somewhat of a progression with Luffy during the post time skip. You know, like
True.
but and what?
It makes me
Luffy
think though, like
didn't give us Gear 4
until
until Luffy didn't give us Gear 4 to Doflamingo, right?
True. And
yes, but we
he was
knew
still
he had
fighting-
that.
was a threat.
He was still
Dopey was
fighting.
not was a threat from the story. And to me,
Okay,
it's
okay.
like I never thought Pika was a level of threat, especially after Mihawk. It's like
I get that. But what I'm saying, but I don't think just because Mihawk trained Zoro, that doesn't mean Zoro is on Mihawk's level. At least after the
True.
training. That's all I'm saying. So
No.
just
but
because
as a reader,
all I'm
it's hard
saying-
to recognize a
what
threat.
what I'm
unless they're
saying,
Mihawk level.
my main point of the whole Mihawk, the whole training part, it wasn't to say that like, yeah, I was wrong about him not fighting Mihawk. I was wrong about that. But the point was, just because he was trained by Mihawk, that doesn't make him stronger than Luffy. And we know Luffy still had some progression.
I didn't say
Like
that
he
either.
still he had trouble with Doflamingo. You know, he's had trouble with Cracker. He had trouble with Katakuri. Even with Gear 4, he had all that trouble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but you said he would beat Katakuri though. You said Zoro would beat Katakuri.
Yeah, I don't think that he, him having trouble against Katakuri or Doflamingo means he couldn't beat either of them. To me, it's like after the time skip. To me, after the Mihawk stuff, it's like I'm expecting Zoro to be at a level to where, yeah, you got to build up the bad guys that he's gonna face, or else I'm not gonna consider him a threat. And he did not do that in post time skip. I think on purpose. We know Pika's a threat just because he's like Dofi's number 2, but he was a weird character with the voice. He was like funky and funny, and it was
I got
you.
you. Just say your point.
So to me though, it's like that's why it wasn't until Wano that we saw him tested because
All right, I
now
got
the
you.
story's actually starting.
I got you. Just try to shorten the words so I can, because I'm trying to get through this chat. I'm trying so we could get back into the debate or whatever we're doing at this point. I don't even know
All
what
right.
we're doing. Dang, where was I? Made me lose my spot again. But we never saw so pretty hard to have it. Ray said, and when we see him fighting, he was using advanced conquer and stopping two Yonko combined attack. Then Angel's Room says Zoro been cutting stone since pre-time skip. Yeah, I know that. Did I say something otherwise than that? Did I say? I don't know if I contradicted that. Yeah, because he was able to cut metal. If you could cut Dad's bones, you should be able to cut stone. Angel said Oda has confirmed to weaken Luffy sometimes, but I don't know if he said anything about Zoro and Sanji. And Ray said Angle, he cuts metal too. Angel said, yeah, Ray, that's why him no different Pika isn't a big deal to me. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. Like, to me, that's why Pika. That's why I look at that fight differently than a lot of people. Because Pika, I don't know how to take that. I don't know how to take that fight. I don't know if Pika was just not strong or if Zoro was just overpowered for him, or if it was a mixture of both.
And at the end,
I think it was a mixture of both.
Hockey too, and it still wasn't even close. So it was like Oda was even like, if you don't think this stuff's strong, here's his full body coated. Isn't that supposed to be strong? And it cut through that easily too.
Yeah.
Like the biggest issue Zoro had with Pika was just finding his real body.
True.
Yeah.
And but I want to go back to what Blump was talking about earlier. Like Luffy, post time skip, he didn't get a power progression until fighting Cat, until he had to learn Future Sight. Everything else that he had before learning Future Sight, I think he has on the island he was training with Rayleigh. Because I mean, Rayleigh even said Gear 4 is a bad thing. You shouldn't be using it because it leaves you without being able to use Haki.
I agree with that, but even that, he had Gear 4, right? And then when he used it,
yes,
it didn't automatically make him capable of beating Kaido, right? Like, even after showcasing
No, because I mean, he had to learn Future Sight, he had to learn Rio.
I get that.
He had to get Gear 5.
I'm saying after that, after that, even with this new gear, and even when he's learning these things, he still is progressing. He's still like fighting. He's still encountering people who's capable of pushing him. You know,
quality
opponent.
So hold on. He still had Gear 4 in his tuck, but he didn't need it to Doflamingo, but he still fought somebody like Doflamingo. What I'm saying with Zoro is, yes, he has this power up, but he could have showcased it with fighting a capable fighter. Like Oda could have created somebody.
There weren't any.
He could have created some. Bro, you're the author of the story. You're telling me you can't create a character that's capable of pushing one of your characters realistically and still leaving enough room for Zoro to continue to grow. You're telling me that?
I think
because
now we're at
the only people
like 1200. If he does all that.
One at a time. Joy Boy.
So with my thing, the people that could push Zoro were the people that Luffy had to defeat.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't give those to Zoro. You have to give it to Luffy, because when it comes to the story, Luffy is more important to Oda, and you can see that with post time skip because Luffy has had the most spotlight, and it even comes with the movies, because Oda has said he will not make a movie unless Luffy is the spotlight.
Joy Boy,
so Luffy has to have the most power progression.
Joy Boy.
True.
The question was, you're telling me Oda couldn't have created a character for Zoro? That's what I'm asking you. I'm not asking out of the characters that we've seen. I'm not asking out of them. You're telling me he couldn't create a character that could have that could have been a good showcase for Zoro.
The Admiral.
He didn't just walk through.
Cutting through a whole mountain isn't a good showcase for Zoro.
That Zoro had to overcome. not just walk through or not just clash with. I mean the actual.
I think we would have made the story longer, and then we're talking that right now we're at the same spot at chapter 1200 instead of 1000. So I think he just kind of was like, I want these arguments to happen, more YouTube videos, and I'll cut out the proof.
You're telling me all the stuff Oda has been doing to extend the story. That's the one thing he chooses to cut out. Like so many stuff Oda could have cut out to keep the story from being as long.
Has any other Straw Hat done anything?
Huh?
Pre-Wano, has any really other Straw Hat done anything the same level, even close to Luffy?
Frankie had a fight.
Frankie did anything post time skip?
Yes, Frankie fought Senior Pink, which wasn't an easy fight for Frankie.
Okay, my bad. So with the same amount of time that Zoro's had, and so that's not good enough for Zoro, but good enough for Frankie.
And you asked me, I was about to start naming people.
Okay. So
you gonna let me?
If they all have the same level of fights as Luffy,
you let me answer your question.
Sure. Sorry.
Frankie. Usopp kind of had his own little thing with Sugar.
I agree.
Usopp's a different type of character. He's not like what I want to say Robin fought, but I don't think Robin had a full on fight.
They all had like one chapter fights, yes.
Yeah, they all fought.
And Luffy's at least had 5 fights.
Brook fought Big Mom, even though it wasn't really much of a fight, I wouldn't say, but he encountered her. He lost that. I'm trying to think of who went with Luffy to Whole Cake Island. I mean Nami got a fight because she fought with Luffy pretty much against Cracker. Like she was helping him. It was more support.
Yes. Those were all considered fights. I agree
Luffy
with you.
wouldn't have won
but
that without
they are not the same level of development as Luffy gets in a multi-chapter fight.
Bro, but they
that's
were
what I'm
fights.
saying.
They were fights that showcased the Straw Hats in some type of way to where
Because
we could sit there and say
to showcase a character like Brook or Frankie is a lot easier than it is to showcase a character like Zoro. For Zoro, you need multiple chapters like King to show him losing, him struggling, and then him overcoming. For someone like Brook, you just need to show that he's stronger for a second. For someone like Chopper, you just need to show that he has mastery over Monster Point. You can show mastery a lot easier for these characters that have lesser feats, which was what we were saying earlier, than with Zoro. And that's why he couldn't just add a character. Except he did add a character. He made up a brand new admiral and said, hey, Zoro for this second is able to compete with him at least. We know it's a big deal. Jump on to Wano. There's no other test.
Fujitaro wasn't created as an obstacle for Zoro.
I don't know. I mean, you just said he couldn't have made a character of some sort of level to challenge Zoro without doing anything, and he did. He said this guy's an admiral, so we know he's a certain level of power, and no matter where he is in the arc, he's showing that Sabo, he's showing that Jesus Burgess, he's showing that all these characters are comparable, and that was power scaling in a little form to show us, hey, these guys can take a hit from an admiral. Doesn't mean they can beat them, but it means that they're way past this pacifista level that they were pre-time skip. So I do think they created a character, and that was Fujitora. The blind samurai who might be from Wano, who maybe is a lot more connected to Zoro.
Spitting.
I'll take that away because Fujitaro wasn't really needed for that arc. Because at that arc, Zoro kind of did have. Yeah, Pika. I mean, Pika was his kind of showcase, but Pika just wasn't.
Pika dragons influence every form of government.
Pika just wasn't.
So I think that he was.
Pika just wasn't a. He just wasn't a challenge. But you telling me during what's it called? What was it? Caesar. What was that island with Caesar? Punk Hazard. Yeah, Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
You telling me Zoro couldn't have a fight there? Like you telling me Oda couldn't took away some other parts of the chapter to give Zoro more.
I think that he did because he showcased a character moment instead of a strength moment for Zoro, which was the whole thing with that ice chick. So I do think that he did do that. It wasn't in the form we're talking about as far as power scaling goes. He was Zoro who never does anything, it was very.
That's not what I'm talking about though. I'm talking about Oda could have gave us
something. Okay,
for Zoro.
He could have done that and he wouldn't have had that character part. Maybe you're right.
Something substantial.
Hold on. I got something to that. I've got something for that because he had to also showcase Law. So that's why he had Law go against Virgo, because if Law's not there,
And Smoker.
That's Zoro's fight.
Could Law
And
not,
Zoro beats
could Law have
Virgo.
not
So
fought
he had
Zoro?
to show.
Could Law have not fought Zoro?
Why would they fight if they made an alliance?
They didn't make an alliance.
It was the whole time switch thing.
That later, like they could
No,
have.
they
They
made
could
it
have fought in the beginning. Say what?
They made it right after the Yeti Cool brothers, right before they met Virgo inside the Punk Hazard building. And I mean, I read Punk Hazard Weekly. It was a drag, man. I was totally ready for the new world, and it was like, oh man, what the hell is this place? I think if he would have added any of the stuff you're talking about, at readers at the time, including myself,
it would have been way better art. It would have been a way better art. You know it. You know it would have been a way better art.
I do not agree with that at all. I think it was too long already.
You don't
Also,
think
you had
agree
Zoro.
If Zoro would have had a fight, it would have been a way better art?
No, because I don't expect Zoro to be tested. Neither did I expect Luffy to be tested. He had to lose because of suffocation. I did not expect, just like how I didn't really expect Buggy to be that much of a challenge for Luffy at the end of the day in the very first arc. I didn't expect Punk Hazard to be that much of a challenge at the end of the day in this first arc of the New World.
All right, let me go back to the chat real quick. I want to because I've never caught up with the chat and we kind of just broke out into a discussion.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's all good. I'll let it ride. So Ray said, and when see him fighting, man, I'll be losing track so much. Zoro is okay. So Ray says, I can write English. I can write good English, but I have to write too much. Yeah, I get it. I was just messing it. Don't worry about it. My bad. I shouldn't have said that. That was on me. I should never said that. It was just that specific paragraph I was having trouble reading though. Then he says Zoro is never going to stronger than Luffy. Zoro respect Luffy because he is powerful. Oda is already stretched so much, and he has targeted he will end One Piece 2025, near 2025. And then Sneaky No King said, I think this, that's
2027, 30 years.
Sneaky No King said, I think Vista should pull up on Zoro when news gets out he got trained by Mihawk, because Vista is the only other swordsman we know that has the pride to be the strongest.
And we haven't seen him fight.
Yeah, that is Vista even alive?
Good point too. I don't even know, but that would be a fight that I would be considering. Like, okay, and this is a level I'm excited, looking forward to, pre knowing anything about King and Queen stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pika should have been. I think Pika should have been more of a challenge personally, but
she was. Okay. I think that would have made the arc better.
I think that fight should have been written to be a more like a better fight personally. Like,
I agree. And the only thing I can really think of with that is, I remember reading Weekly, and it was like you knew Luffy's fight was coming right after Zoro, and it had already been like a year of waiting. So I do remember wanting Zoro's fight to be fast, but wanting to see some sort of cool power-up, which I guess we did. We saw him coat his swords and get an explanation and stuff, but I agree. Maybe it could have been, in retrospect, rereading, like it would be better if it was a better fight.
Bro, that's all I want. I just wanted to see what Zoro could... We had a 2-year time skip, right?
I thought we were talking about power scaling, not better story and stuff like that.
No. That's y'all. I'm talking about. It would have been better if Oda would have gave us a more better gauge. If he would have wrote it to have a better gauge for the Straw Hats. You know, I get what y'all saying. But that's part, to me, that is part of the problem.
I respect
because Oda, because y'all keep saying stuff about, oh well, it wouldn't have been, but Oda give us so much unnecessary stuff in the story. So I find a hard time to accept the point that y'all make that Oda about the timing and arcs would have been issues or whatever. When Oda sits here and gives us so many chapters or just so much stuff of unnecessary babble. You know, just to hit certain.
Well,
days
I wasn't saying that to begin with, so.
No, I don't think I was either, honestly.
But
no, I'm saying y'all was saying. I'm saying when y'all kept saying stuff about, oh well, if Oda would have added a character, then that would have just made the arc even longer, and it would have messed up the story or whatever.
Okay,
that's what Adam was saying, and you kind of agreed with it. So I mean, I don't know. You was agreeing with something what Adam was saying, and that was kind of the core of what Adam's
Well, I
argument
was
is.
saying that like the characters were there, but they had to be used for different characters.
And
But like
was that needed to know that Zoro was strong enough to be where he's at right now? To
No.
me, it was not needed to believe that Zoro has made a progression to the power level that he is at currently in the last week's chapter.
And I
So to
disagree
me,
with
that wasn't
disagree
needed.
with that. And I
But like
disagree with you there.
Except
I
do
got
you believe where Zoro's at is a okay? Is his power level believable to you right now in the story?
I don't. Is it believable? I think it was kind of forced to be believable, but I mean, it is what it is. I just kind of accept it as it is what it is right now. I've never been a fan of.
Fair
I
enough,
never.
fair enough.
Hold on. I've never been a fan of Zoro's progression. Again, that's pretty much what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not a fan of it. I'm still not a fan of it. You know, but at this point, it's just kind of like I gotta kind of accept it as it is what it is. So I mean, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Okay,
At the same,
so, like-
I've been waiting to fight Mihawk since chapter 40. So it's like, I mean, I get it.
I don't see. All I'm saying is him fighting Mihawk for 2 years. To me, I don't think that's enough to just like put him at Katakuri's level.
We've known his endgame fight for a long time,
Well,
so it's like it's always hard to build up an opponent.
Hold on. Let me finish. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't agree that him fighting Mihawk for 2 years should automatically put him on Katakuri's level at the beginning of the time skip, or even Doflamingo's level. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I personally think he should have. He at the beginning of Dressrosa, if we're talking story portrayal, I think he should have been where he's always at, and that is right behind Luffy. You know,
Which I think he was,
but I don't feel as though that was ever showcased. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with it. Y'all agree with it? That's fine. I don't agree with it. It is what it is at this point, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just never liked that. I never liked that aspect. I would have liked to see him get challenged earlier in the time skip. And I don't think it would have, I believe Oda could have wrote it good enough to where it wouldn't have it would have screwed up the story, or it would have made arcs unbearable, because Oda already puts a lot of unnecessary stuff in arcs anyway. So taking away some of that and adding more for Zoro, I don't see the problem. And hold on, Adam. Hold on, Adam. I'll let y'all go. I'm gonna finish it here though. Y'all like I don't. Damn, you made me. I don't see that as a problem. And damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just saying, like you just said you did have a problem with how Zoro was handled when a new race of character was made up that chapter and introduced to be a strong villain for him. You did have a problem with that, but adding him earlier, something like that earlier wouldn't be a problem. That's where I'm getting confused.
You mean King?
Yes.
I don't have a problem with the King fight.
Okay, so then without all the ads we just talked about, you are okay with where he's at power.
I have a problem of how Zoro was treated up to Wano.
True.
I don't believe I would have liked to see some progression. There was no progression. I wanted to be able to gauge Zoro and then see some type of progression. To me, I didn't get that, and to me now it's just kind of like, oh well, he's strong. Oh yeah, because it's Zoro and he trained with Mihawk, and it's kind of like, to me, that's just weak. It's just weak. Like a lot of stuff y'all said, I get what y'all said, and I'm not knocking y'all. Like I'm not saying y'all stupid or anything, but some of y'all like reasoning behind it is just, to me, is weak, because I feel as though a lot of that, like Oda could have written it differently to escape everything y'all keep saying. But
I mean, that's what I was trying to say with the King stuff. It's like he kind of just did all those things.
Let Joy Boy talk, because he wanted to say something.
I've been trying to fucking talk for the last 5 minutes. I gotta go like way back now. So, I mean, Oda pre-time skip, he held Zoro back a lot. Like Zoro Arlong Park, he was injured. Zoro's in Arlong Park uninjured. He takes down. He solos everybody there for me.
Yep.
I mean, I think that. I don't know what you think about that, Blump, but I mean, so, I think Zoro, like if he didn't have that fight with Mihawk, Zoro goes into Arlong Park fresh, he beats Arlong.
Yep.
So I mean, like Oda, like
because you asked me, because you said what I think about it. So I'm gonna just give you my answer. I'm not gonna go on explanation. I don't know if I agree that he would solo everybody there, but continue.
Because I mean, Hachin is for me, because Zoro's always faced the second strongest in anybody's group. Hachin is the strongest one there, bar Arlong. And Zoro really didn't have a problem with Hachin except for his wound. So unwounded, Zoro goes into Arlong Park. For me, Hachin neg diff. Arlong met the heart, at least. So I mean, Oda because Zoro's been strong as fuck from the beginning. So Oda had to write in the story to hold Zoro back a lot.
Well, I'm not saying he wouldn't.
We get to post time. Okay, let me.
Let me just correct. I'm not saying he wouldn't. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't agree with it as a fact. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. But you could see it like going 50-50 maybe.
Possibly.
Okay.
Because I don't think Luffy had that much trouble.
So then we get to post time skip. That's really the first time Zoro's been unleashed full power. Like, not injured, not coming in with some kind of handicap, not having one sword, two swords, broken sword, or whatever.
Totally.
So, and then, so we actually get to see Zoro full power post Mihawk training. And then, so with that, I think it kind of makes sense for him to have not very hard fights, but more of a power showcase. Until we get to Wano, he gets Enma, still has problems with King, until he figures out his ability. And then after that, like post Wano, I can see a lot of the fights being more of a struggle post Wano, because like this whole Wano arc has pretty much, like, for me, has been like the first half of the time skip.
Yeah.
Because everything post has been leading up to here. Yeah. So I think going forward from Wano, a lot of these fights are going to be a lot harder. Yeah. And I think that's why Oda would have shown Zoro just fucking neg diffing Pika.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is
later on, it's going to show these future players that all the Straw Hats are going to have to fight. They're on a next level.
Yep.
Yeah, and all I'm saying is I disagree with that. Like, I believe that Oda could have gave us he could have gave every Straw Hat somebody to somewhat test where they're at. You know what I'm saying? And he could have still left a little room for each one to grow. You know what I'm saying? And maybe what you're saying, maybe that is the direction Oda did want to go. So I'll give you that. I'll give you, maybe that's the direction Oda wanted to go. I'm saying I don't per se like that direction, because I believe that Oda could have gave Zoro and Sanji and the other Straw Hats it didn't have to be Fishman Island. You know, it could have been Punk Hazard or whatever, but he could have gave him somebody worthwhile just to showcase, like, okay, here's where we gotten up to this point. And it didn't have to be like a super high diff fight. That's not what I'm saying, but well, I mean, I would have liked it to be a high diff fight. I'm not going to.
Well, I have a question for you, Bluff, then, along those lines, then. So we all agree that when Dofi showed up, he was like pretty strong, right? How did we know he was pretty strong?
How did he know?
I mean, yeah, we know he was never damaged once pre-time skip, and he pretty much low diffed everything. So we knew when we met him, it was serious new world, new world time.
Well, it was portrayal. A lot of him being a warlord means that he's somebody. And then we've seen him. We've seen little things that he could do, like here, like especially when he pretty much confronted Gecko Moria, right? Who we seen pre-time skip. We seen Luffy fight pre-time skip.
True.
So yeah, a lot of it is his portrayal, his position.
I would argue that Zoro had those exact same level of feats as Dofi had in pre-time skip. Zoro at least has those exact same feats pre-Wano. So it's like, I think he has shown a lot of these things. Yes, you're right. Not to the same level of a main character that I expect or anyone would like.
But Zoro's portrayal is different. Zoro's portrayal is different. So that, to me, his portrayal would bring him take that away, because his portrayal is always to be behind Luffy. Like, it's to be like Luffy's 1A and he's like.
I agree, but at the same time, when it comes to power, I feel like they're a lot more even. I feel like it's always been.
But I'm saying, you asked me about Doflamingo and compared him to Zoro. I'm saying to me, they're not comparable because Doflamingo has been portrayed as somebody who's going to push Luffy.
Okay, so not comparable,
and
but
Zoro,
you think Dofi would have beaten Zoro.
Doflamingo is portrayed as an obstacle for Luffy. Zoro is portrayed to be second to Luffy.
Okay, so true, but so you think that Dofi would have beat Zoro post time skip, but
Yes.
he was not given as many feats, but just to show he was strong enough for Luffy.
What I'm saying is, I don't know what Zoro would have done because I could not gauge him, but I don't think he would have beat Zoro or Doflamingo. Like, I don't believe he would have, but I don't know. I have nothing to gauge how strong Zoro was post time skip because we never got anything to do that. That's what I'm saying. I wish we would have got something because then it would make these, for me, it would make these arguments a lot easier, but it doesn't because that's not what we got.
Absolutely. It ends up just being for you and me. It's like for you, it wasn't enough. For me, the little stuff of the Admiral and the little stuff of like the stop and whatever, that was enough for me. Wasn't enough for you. And that's probably, it's just going to be like that.
Yeah. And like, yeah, and exactly, that's what I'm saying. You guys are fine with how it went. All I'm saying is I don't agree with it. I'm not sitting here complaining because I don't like to say, oh, screw Oda for doing it, but I just didn't like it. You know what I mean? Just being honest about it. I didn't like it.
Totally. And I want to clarify, I was not arguing earlier if I'd like it, because if we were arguing like story, I absolutely agree with you. I wish there was more. We saw it, definitive proof, all that stuff. I was just arguing as far as what these powers might be speculative wise. I was not arguing what would make a better story, because I agree with you 100%. It would be much better to have real fights for Sanji and Zoro and Nami and stuff like that once in a while, instead of after 500 chapters we get one.
Yeah, and it just makes it hard for me to argue either against or for Zoro objectively, because I don't have nothing. I don't have no. I'm not gonna say there's none, but there's not really anything saying like, it's nothing telling me like Zoro was as strong as Doflamingo or like the beginning time skip, or he was as strong as Virgo, or he was as strong as this. Like,
hold up. You already took back the Virgo stuff.
No,
you did.
No, hold on. I said I concede to him possibly beating Virgo. I said that, but that doesn't mean I believe that he would have definitively beaten Virgo, because again, there is no facts behind it to support Zoro doing it. There's hold on. There's things
where we disagree.
Hold on. There's things you can use. There are things that you can use to try to speculate it, but there is nothing definitively that says Zoro is beating Virgo. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, there is, because he doesn't get a power up until Emma.
Bro,
so everything
he
shows up until getting Emma.
That's not definitive. That's not definitive.
Yes, because
and it's all up for interpretation, and it's crazy.
And if it's up to interpretation, that's not definitive. If two people could get two different answers, like facts are like.
Why did we have an argument that had one answer?
Huh?
This whole argument. Why would we ever have an argument that only had one answer?
I'm not saying there's one answer. I'm just saying there. But that's kind of my point.
You just
it's
said
not
be a
definitive.
Thing. That's why I'm saying it's not definitive. I said earlier it was on purpose written to be ambiguous, and in such a way with all this stuff that we really can't prove whatever. But I can say as a reader, before thinking about analysis or being a manga writer or anything, as a reader, I interpreted it differently, where I did not think these things would be a challenge. You interpreted it the opposite way, where you wanted to have a challenge. We both agree on the same story aspects, it seems like, and we had a totally different view of the same thing. That's just so cool to me. That it's just it's like that's the power of One Piece to me. That's how crazy a difference it can be of the same stuff.
Yeah, but I was sending that to Joy Boy, because he said we have something definitive. So what?
What power ups did Zoro get before getting Enma?
Bro, I'm not talking about power ups. I'm talking about, can he beat Virgo? That's all I'm talking. You keep bringing up power ups. I'm not talking about. I'm saying.
That's what
I'm saying. All I'm saying is there's nothing to prove. There's nothing to prove that he will definitely beat Virgo. You know,
And
now,
I agree with John, but
I'm-
there's nothing to prove.
hold on. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Joy Boy because he's the one who keeps arguing. I'm not saying he will lose the Virgo either. I'm not saying he wins or loses. I'm saying there's not enough data for me to sit here and say that he will beat Virgo. You know what I'm saying? Like, or it would.
So like
he would most like he would. He's the more likely person to win. That's what I'm saying. There's not enough evidence for me to showcase that. So I don't know because I don't know how to gauge Zoro at that point.
I mean, the best thing we have is against Pika, and I would put Pika over Virgo.
Well, and that's why I think it's
wouldn't.
cool because you and I
wouldn't.
say there is enough evidence, and then I also agree with him that there's not enough evidence. It's like I thought those characters were good enough to prove it too, but I totally understand and agree with his argument that a lot of those players I could put a lot of arguments about those people being weaker too against stuff. So it's like I can see it for us being proof, yes, and then also it not being proof because it's like it's really not very strong arguments either.
Yeah, no. Until we get like a Mihawk flashback, I guess. I don't know.
And all
But
I'm
like
saying,
for me,
Why?
it's
Let's
most
find out what happened
the
to
most
Mihawk.
obvious choice. Like Occam's Razor, it was him training against Mihawk for 2 years. So I think that gives him enough strength to be able to beat Virgo.
I don't.
Because the baboons would not have posed any kind of difficulty to Zoro after he gets fully
They
healed.
used weapons too. They had a special name or something.
And they were copying his attack, so he was pretty much fighting himself.
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about that.
So to go against Virgo, like, okay, so is why I keep saying that Zoro didn't get a power up before Enma. You can say maybe he got a little bit when he got to Wano before getting Enma.
See,
Because I
it's
think
true.
because it's the same Zoro. The same Zoro at Punk Hazard is the same Zoro before he gets Enma for me.
And I disagree with
That's
that.
how I interpret the story, and that's why I'm trying to portray it that way. And I
Yeah.
can respect your opinion of disagreeing.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's
But,
all I'm saying. I mean,
yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine. That's what you believe. I'm just saying there's not because how I work when I compare people, when I do like verses, you know what I'm saying? And this is why I kind of don't like doing verses for One Piece because Oda makes it so ambiguous sometimes.
Me too.
Like,
Me too.
You know,
trolls us.
and a lot of it is matchups as well. But it's
And
like
where they're fighting, like where?
it's just I'm big on
Like that
feats.
shit.
I'm big on feats at the end of the day. Like I'm looking at like what have you shown to be able to do? You know what I'm saying?
What feats did Virgo have?
Bro,
What feats did Virgo have that surpasses Zoro's feats?
Bro,
I
I'm just talking about verses in general, man.
Yeah, okay. So Zoro versus Virgo, what feats does Virgo have?
What feats does Virgo have? Him fighting Law?
Breaking Sanji's
Somebody-
leg or
Law-
whatever.
Him giving Law trouble? The same guy who's pretty much supposed to be Luffy's peer? When Zoro had no feats at that point? I think at that point, post time skip, Virgo, I had a better gauge of what Virgo was bringing than what Zoro brought, is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
when we first saw his hockey body, he was supposed to be portrayed as like, whoa, this guy's strong. Like I agree, he was supposed to be like portrayed as strong.
Okay. So when it comes to Law and Zoro, it's Law because of his devil fruit, but Law's hockey is nowhere near Zoro's hockey for me.
Well, see, I don't even think we have to go that far because it's like that's why at the end of the King fight, he does the exact same thing Virgo does, and to me, that's like symbolism as, hey, they're at least same level with this hockey stuff, and Zoro cuts through it just as easily as Law did. So to me, that was a sign that like, oh yeah, I didn't think Virgo was that good of a villain or that strong, whatever. It just he held the hearts or whatever, and then stuff. So it was like I can see I think that's enough proof for the Virgo stuff, but I could understand that that it wouldn't be, I guess.
Yeah. Let me read this chat real quick, yo.
But before that, I'm
Hold
a
on.
dip.
All right, you out? Yeah, I'm probably gonna wrap this
yeah.
up too in a bit. All right then, LaJoy boy.
Good talking to
Great
you.
conversations. It's funny how it turned into like a 2-hour Zoro conversation.
Can you change the title of the stream?
All right.
But yeah, y'all have a good night.
All right.
See ya,
too,
man.
You too. Okay, so Angel said Katakuri is a good example of character with no build being able to challenge character. Yeah, I mean, but his build was fighting Luffy, right? Because Luffy was gauged at this point, and so him how he stacked up with Luffy, that was enough to show you that he was serious.
And we saw him do some feats beforehand of like, oh, he could see the future. Oh, he had some like he saw that one trap coming when they were coming into the wedding. It was like he had some I think like hand-picked feats to kind of show, hey, Katakuri, this guy might be tough.
Yeah. Exactly. But you're right though, and that's all I wanted for Zoro. Just let me be able to gauge Zoro, because I don't like debating with somebody I can't even measure who you know what I'm saying? Because then it's just a lot of people just using fan like, oh well, I think he'd win because he's beating this guy at this point, and even though this was like 5 years ago, and it's like, come on,
totally, and I agree with you. I just want to clarify with that though. It's like we did see him low diff king, and we did see him equally clash against an admiral. That was not good enough for you as a feat. That was good enough for me. All I've ever seen the admirals, I've only seen Akainu in one fight, and he killed people and stuff. But it's like all I know of the admirals is they pretty much killed Luffy, and all the Whitebeard commanders. I mean, yeah, it took 3 of them, I guess, to hurt Whitebeard, but like they seem to be at least first commander or Yonko level. So to me, in the very first serious arc, it seems like in the time skip with Dressrosa, when he is able to clash and be a little bit equal, at least, with Fujitora, to me, that was a super, super huge sign that, like, hey, this is the power level I expected. I expected the Straw Hats to come back and be like, hey, we're an actual threat to the Marines, up until it seems like, aside from Garp and some special cases, most of the below Admiral Marines aren't that super strong. Luffy was fighting Vice Admirals the whole time in Marineford. So it's like, to me, that was a big sign that, like, hey, he's at this level. He low diff King, who did the same thing as Virgo, and then we don't really see him do anything again until Wano. When I'm starting, okay, before I even see him fight King, I get confirmation that he can go a little bit, not toe to toe, but he's hurting Kaido. He's at least affecting him. So it's like, to me, those have always been signs of he's at a certain level. But I also know that Luffy's the main character, so he has to fight I don't ever think about him fighting Dolphy, because it's like, I know Luffy was going to fight him the whole time. Like you said, he was written to be like that. Yeah. So Zoro, to me, has always been kind of written as, hey, I don't have time to flesh out the villain, the quality villain you need to showcase you, so I just have to use the stuff I've built up in story, like admirals, like all these, whatever level of character, and have you just do a quick little, just like we saw in Marineford, these little characters just matching and whatever, so we know they're at least comparable.
Adam, you know what he could have done? What the Oda route Oda could have took? Oda could have had Pika fight somebody of note before he fought Zoro.
Did. Remember, Luffy had a lot of trouble with him. They all had trouble with him in that hallway when he first used his powers.
No, I mean an actual fight though, like have him in a because Luffy wasn't trying to fight him. Luffy was just trying to understand what was going on though.
Did you read weekly Dressrosa?
No, I watched it.
Were you reading weekly for Dressrosa?
No, I watched it.
Oh, okay, that I've heard that was a different experience. That was not quite good either.
It was unpleasant. I didn't start reading
all of those side fights. You're telling me that, and knowing that the main fight of the whole thing doesn't matter about any of these side characters. The main thing is taking down Dolphy anyway, and you're probably gonna get a Law flashback. You're telling me at that point you wanted more from Pika, so that Zoro's one chapter fight mattered a little bit more than already just what it was.
I would have wanted something where Pika. Because the thing about it is, I don't like, it's hard to gauge Pika as well. Like people say he's
easily win that one Coliseum round.
But again, it's all devil fruit ability work. But I'm not saying it's not a feat. It's just not a fighting feat. It's like, oh, I got this ability to move land and terrain. Yes, that's his ability. I get that. That's his ability. But it's not to sit here and say he's this good of a fighter. It's just, I have the ability to move the terrain. That's all that is. I'm not saying it's not a strong ability. That's not what I'm saying. But yes, that's a great feat. But when your ability is specifically to move terrain, that's what you should be doing, is moving terrain. I'm talking solely.
No, I thought that he won one of the rounds in the fighting tournament, but maybe I'm thinking of
Pika. Nah. Not
No, he didn't. He didn't. Okay, yeah.
Diamante, I think, was part of the fight. Like
So
Diamante.
no, and I totally agree with you because it's like Pika. All he could do is make a bunch of rocks, and as you said earlier, Zoro could cut steel. So I really was not impressed by that either. You're right. From the get go, it wasn't a good opponent for him. That we pretty much knew he was going to be fighting, and from the get go, it wasn't a good opponent for him. Why did Oda write it like that? I'm not sure.
But-
Maybe he did just to because we knew it shouldn't be a challenge or something.
But
I don't
Adam,
know.
let me answer your question though, because you said
Okay.
would I want him to fight in the middle of all that stuff? It's not that I wanted to add, like, it could have been like he could have fought somebody who fought in the Coliseum, and like a strong character that fought in the Coliseum, and then have him like beat that person quickly with ease, right? And then so it's like, okay, well, I know how strong this guy who fought in the Coliseum is, and Pika just ran through him like nothing. So when Zoro get to him and Zoro just no diff Pika, then you can be like, oh, see, it could have just been like half a chapter. It wouldn't have had to be a whole chapter. It could have been like
Good point.
a
And
quarter
he
chapter.
could even just showed him already beaten somebody. Like the guy was on the ground beaten, and just like, oh, we know Pika beat him. We know he's that strong. That's a good point.
That's all I'm saying. Just show me what Pika could do against somebody who's proven. And it could be it could be like a half a chapter, or not even it could be a couple pages. You know what I'm saying? But let me read these chats again. Because I was still kind of reading. Sneaky Noah King said, Blump, I agree with you on this. Zoro should have fought people like Jack or Smoothie, or like you said, maybe make Pika more formidable to show his progress. That's all I wanted. Angel said, bruh, wasn't Zoro no diff by Fujitaro in their clash? That's how I remember. I don't remember Zoro giving that much problem with Fujitaro, but y'all telling it to me like it was a full-on fight, but I don't know, you know. Again, my memory of anything pre Whole Cake Island right now is a little fuzzy, so you know what I mean.
Me too.
But like, cause I forgot about, you know what I mean. I forgot a lot of stuff about Punk Hazard. One Life Man said Zoro almost killed Kaido. If Big Mom didn't warn Kaido do dodge, he did. Yeah, I mean Zoro did progress during Wano. He had a good bit of time to train and get a new sword, a power up, all that. Ela said he gave Law trouble because he had his heart. That is true. That is true. You know, I forgot about, you know, and then he said Law no diff Virgo after he got his heart. But I don't remember it being no diff. I think you geeky.
Well, once Law got his heart, he just did that one sword strike. So I mean, is that low diff or whatever? I mean, it was just one attack, but I mean, it seemed like a strong attack.
Yeah. Oh, it was like right that. Okay. I mean, I guess. I mean, again, my memory of it is not that good right now. So if that's the case, then. But again, it's Law though.
To talk about Virgo on the stream today as much as we have.
Again, is Law, and I don't think Law is. I don't think Zoro is as strong as Law. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Zoro at that time is stronger than Law.
I don't either. I don't think Luffy is.
I never, like, y'all keep bringing what Law did as if like I believe that Zoro was stronger than Law. Like I don't get. Yeah, Law did, but Law. I don't think Zoro is. I think Law was with Luffy, and I think Zoro is weaker than Luffy at that point. And you know what I'm saying?
Totally, dude. And with the Law thing, it's like I said, I all I wanted to point out earlier with that was just how weird that whole fight is, because it's like we are definitely seeing hockey in that fight portrayed how we see it usually portrayed, and it is not on that last attack with Law. Yet he cuts through him, and then all sorts of stuff, even though he's not even that much of a swordsman. He says. So it's like that whole attack to me is a weird clue for bad example. You're absolutely right, because it's a totally weird thing, I think.
Yeah. And another reason why I think Law uses ability on that point, because when he chops Virgo, I don't remember it being like blood. Like it wasn't like a chop where it was like
it wasn't. And then he attached him to the railing too. He attached him to the railing. It was not cut. It was his power.
Yeah, Virgo split like Law's ability to make other people split. So that's why I kind of look at.
Even had him talking to him, like he was on the railing with his head like attached to the railing, and he was talking to him. So you're right. Which I will say, like you were saying earlier, at that point in the story, as far as we knew, to me, Hockey was kind of portrayed as like the end all be all as far as devil fruit powers do not work against Hockey. Now we know a little bit more, obviously, but at that point, him using his devil fruit powers against the Hockey, that totally seemed like a reversal of what Rayleigh was talking about. So that's why I think that whole moment was a weird thing. And Law is a weird character, I think, totally.
Yeah. LaJoy Boy said, great stream, man. Thanks for having me. Shout out to LaJoy Boy. Elis said, we know that Hockey blooms when limits are pushed and when a person is fighting for their life. Zoro never had those experiences until very recently. So what that tells me is that Zoro at the beginning of the time skip isn't much different than Zoroark Zoro. Again, I haven't been shown enough to agree with you, Elis. I get what you're saying, but again, to me, I feel as though a lot of y'all gotta jump through hoops to try to explain why Zoro was this strong instead of just giving me something from the manga to prove it.
Okay, so I have, like with the Admiral stuff.
I mean something like at that specific point. I mean something at that specific point. Like pre-time skip Zoro, like fresh off the time skip, doing something that showcased that he's stronger than Virgo. Like that's all I'm saying.
So to me, so just because this is a good example of what you're talking about. We know Mihawk's the strongest swordsman, okay? We're told that, we know all that stuff, whatever. Yet when he fights Zoro, we're shown the strongest swordsman in the whole series use a little teeny dagger that we know is not his full power to completely dismantle Zoro and prove to us how much stronger he is than these characters. To me, in post-time skip, almost all of Zoro's feats are using that little dagger against his enemy, just like he does at the start of Wano when he takes that little dagger out and cuts open the building. To me, that was pretty much Oda saying, hey, this is the arc where I'm unleashing Zoro for the first time in 12 years at this point. So it's like
you proving my point, man. You gotta use some symbolism you created in your head.
Those hoops you're talking about, we have visually seen those hoops, and they don't count for you.
I'm saying, bro, I'm saying you're like to sit here and try to connect it and relate it to like Mihawk's dagger, like the symbolism of using me. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's one thing, but I don't think it demeans the point.
All right, but Elis said, I kind of wanted to read what he was saying.
He's agreeing with me.
Elis said no, I already read that. Angel's Room said, but yeah, Fujitaro did acknowledge Zoro's strength. I guess that can be seen as a feat. I mean, I don't know if that's saying someone's strong, but I mean, we already knew that Zoro was strong. It's not like a gaugeable feat, in my opinion. Like it's just saying like, oh, you're strong. Did we not know that Zoro was strong? I'm not saying Zoro's not strong.
Saying that's different than Arlong saying that, you know.
I mean,
it's like the implication.
I mean, Fujitaro also acknowledged Luffy, and Luffy wasn't able to beat Cracker, or Luffy still had problems with people, and I'm pretty sure Fujitaro acknowledged Luffy as well, and Luffy still had problems with people who may not necessarily be as strong as Fujitaro, you know.
Well, I mean that's why I think fundamentally power scaling for the series like One Piece is flawed, because so much of it relies on power and environment and all that stuff. Yeah. I really wonder if some of these streams, if maybe we could, instead of doing like these verses and stuff that are very hard to kind of like definitively prove either way, maybe if we're gonna go the route of hard to prove, maybe we should make it more you should like ideas. Some of them be like story oriented, like, oh, what should this arc have added to do that? Unless it's gonna be like I'm not trying to talk shit about Ichiro Oda or anything like that, but like stuff like that might be fun to explore with people.
Yeah. Finish these chats. One Life Man says Zoro will be the second strongest of the world. I mean, maybe, I guess it's possible. I don't know if that's for certain.
I think Zoro's gonna kill Luffy at the end, so I mean, I expect him to be second strongest.
I would probably say Kid or Law might be the second strongest. You know, like Law might be the Whitebeard, the Luffy's Roger or something, and then Kid might be like Shiki or something.
I think that's very, very accurate to be close for like what the power levels are and stuff, or like importance or whatever we want to call it.
Yeah. And Rage says 6 a.m. morning here. That's where hockey is supreme above all. Yeah, like, and look, I'm not saying
Yeah, we saw it wasn't against law.
Look, I'm not saying that Zoro isn't as strong as a lot of you guys believe. You know what I'm saying?
True.
I'm saying I'm just not going to accept it as truth as you guys do, because to me there's just the evidence isn't there. And you guys gave evidence, but it's not like evidence to sit here for me to say, oh well, yeah, you're definitely right. He's definitely gonna be Virgo for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
totally.
Now,
so and yeah, for me with that stuff, it's like for me the acceptance or whatever that for me what's good enough is if I believe comfortably that where the story's at, if it's all like, okay, I believe Zoro's at this power level to beat King and all that stuff. If I'm believing it when I read it, to me, despite whatever flaws or whatever I wish was shown, I'm counting it as knowing it as truth. For you, that is not counting the same, and I think that's the fundamental. We're just we see differently. That's no problem with that.
I look at feats. You know why I don't look at portrayal as much as I do consider portrayal, but I don't accept it as much as most people, because
I did accept feats that I accept as whatever.
Hold on. And feats need context as well. I agree with that. Like Sanji beating up Luffy, so you could use that as a feat, but if you know the context, you can't really use it, right? But when people use portrayal, I like portrayal. I get it, and I do use portrayal, but I use that in conjunction with feats as well, because portrayal is a very subjective thing. It's like it's determined on how one person interprets what's being told. And if you got multiple people who could interpret portrayal differently, to me it just doesn't make it as accurate. It's not the best part to go on. Feats on the other hand, feats and context as well are more reliable, because if I see somebody beat Luffy, I could sit here and say, well, if he beats Luffy, he should be able to beat Zoro. He should be able to beat Sanji. He should be able to beat anybody who's equal to Luffy. Now, the context, when you add context, you got to look at the matchup, right? That's when you look at Luffy and Enel, right? Luffy beat Enel. That's a feat. But if you understand the context, you understand that Luffy only beat Enel because he's a bad matchup for Enel. You know what I'm saying? So it's a balance of portrayal, feats, and context. And my problem with Zoro, right? It's not that I believe that people are wrong for believing Zoro is a certain amount of, like, on a certain level of power scaling. It's the fact that we don't have enough post time skip to prove that Zoro is everything you guys say he is, or that people say he is. You know what I'm saying? I get he trained with Mihawk, but just because he trained with Mihawk, that doesn't mean he's stronger than Luffy. That doesn't mean he's stronger than Katakuri. That doesn't mean he's stronger than Doflamingo, or it also doesn't mean he's not as strong as them as well. I get that, but you know what I mean? Just saying he trained with Mihawk, itself isn't enough to convince me that he's what people say he is. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And that's, I think, what the coolest thing is because so all that stuff is 100,000,000% valid of what you said, and I even see what you're saying. And then to me, okay, I did it. Okay, for me, the training with Mihawk was, okay, he probably fought against him. He lost his eye. He at least survived, so that means he must be getting stronger. But to me, the implication was just levelly there from the beginning that, okay, the only people I'm expecting that should be able to challenge Zoro are like Dofi level, like so Warlord level, or like at least Katakuri, all these, Yonko level commanders, whatever. So to me, every single fight that wasn't one of those characters, I was just, let's get through this because I know it's not going to test Zoro. You were viewing it as, okay, I want to see a test of Zoro. To me, I didn't need that. But I can see 100%, and I mean, would it make a better story? Perhaps it would make a better story if we see that stuff. But it's like I think that's the cool part, where it's like I got a totally different reading of this same exact thing you read, and we're both not. I wouldn't say either of us are right or wrong.
Yeah, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying either. I'm just saying it's like it's cool how we can have such differing opinions for this, yet it's the same story we read, and and it's like and we're both viewing it way differently, and it's like, oh, but we're using the same feats and stuff and everything, and it's like all this proof for one way and all this proof for the other way, and it's still different opinions. That's why I was like earlier when I was saying this stuff with the. Why would we have an argument that has one answer? I don't really think that the story is super written like it has one answer. So to me, that's why these discussions. That's why I like One Piece so much.
Yeah. But I think we got a good stopping point. You know what I'm saying? It's been like 3-4 hours now. God dang.
I don't even know.
Rage said One Piece world is ruled by will, and that's where hockey comes. Yeah.
Yep.
Angel's Room said, to me, it's just Doflamingo pre-Wano. I'm not sure what you mean, Angel.
It might be for Zoro again.
Huh?
And he might be saying that for Zoro, that he would say he wouldn't be able to beat Doflamingo pre-Wano.
Okay. And Ray said great stream as well. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, so
great questions.
Yeah, and it was good. It was a good stream. Very intense. Very, you know what I'm saying. Well, hey, that makes a good stream right there. That made all the drama that we had. That makes a good drama. But it's all in fun though. It's all in fun. I know it seemed intense at times, but it's all good.
Oh yeah. Just trying to talk over each other and shit. And it's like I didn't mean any offense to you ever talking over or anything. It's just it's hard to figure out who's talking sometimes on this thing as a whole.
No, I get it. I know. That's why I just kind of had to regain the control. You know what I'm saying? But hey, but yeah, shout out to all my guests. Adam right here. Also,
thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Also, we had Cube. We had D LaJoy Boy. I'm already forgetting. Yeah, so it was y'all three. Exactly, it was y'all three. And me, of course, right? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me read this up. Shout out to my uncle. Shout out to Angel's Room. Shout out to Stan. Shout out to Best Jen who stopped through. Shout out to Stick 18. Shout out to iGod. New subscribers, and shout out to them for subscribing too. Stick 18 and iGod. It's really appreciated. Shout out. I was about to say Cube. I already shouted him out. Yeah, I think that's most of you guys, man. I don't know what's some. Shout out to Elids. Shout out to Sneaky Noah King. Shout out to Rage, aka Renault. I remember it's Renault. I remember you guys. I remember you. And Rage said, "I want Garp to beat any big character." And
hey, maybe he can. Maybe he can.
Yeah, man. Garp.
Talk about circumstantial evidence. That's everything about Garp. It seems like.
Sneaky Noah King says, "Fire stream, man." Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, can I do a shout out for my manga?
Yeah, man. I was about to say, you could speak anything if you want to plug anything. Go ahead.
If you guys are already here, my name is Adam Jinrakai. I draw a manga series called The Shonen Beat. It's at jinrakai.com, but you can find me on Instagram or any of those places under Adam Jinrakai. Thank you for listening, and thanks for the great questions and stuff, and thanks for doing this, Blum.
Yep. Hey, appreciate you being here. Hey, and throw something in the comments to all your stuff. To your website.
I will. Yeah, I will.
Put that like after the stream, because I don't know if you could comment right now, but if you can comment right now, go ahead.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, so then people could go. So yeah, y'all got his information. So he will be putting it in the comments, so y'all could go support him and everything. Go check him out. And anybody else who is also in the stream, if y'all want to plug anything, y'all please do as well. Ray said, "Can you pin a link of your manga?" Yeah, he's going to do that. He's going to do that, and I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna pin it in the comments. So he's going to do that.
Thank you, man.
I think he can only comment after I finish the stream though. So you're going to have to wait.
I will click back onto it, and I don't think I've liked it on my computer account, so I'll do that.
Yeah. Yep.
So like the stream if you're listening still, everyone.
Yeah, like that. Get them likes up. Ela said, "You are a great host. Thank you for the discussion." Adam Cube and Joy Boy. I appreciate Eli's, man. I know I get passionate about the, you know what I mean? Like sometimes when we get in these debates, I get passionate. So don't.
I do. You and Elids, your guys' hockey discussions. I just want to get to the point where I have enough YouTube clout that I can join those discussions, because you two are some of the greatest hockey minds I've heard on YouTube. So I love those streams, and you guys do a great job with those.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And before I go, I kind of want to say, kind of give you guys an announcement. I kind of spoke on it a little bit on Friday. This week might be a touchy week for streams. I might not be streaming that often. I'm gonna try to do the stream with Eliz if he still wanna because we gotta finish that understanding hockey one, and I'm gonna probably try to touch on a few videos some of you guys sent me. So I probably might do maybe 2 or 3 streams, 3 at most. I'm probably not gonna do all 4, but 3 at most, probably 2 most likely, because I'm in the process of preparing to move. So there's some stuff I gotta be doing, some other stuff that's probably gonna keep me away from streaming. And then next week I will be moving, so y'all probably won't be getting anything from me except that chapter. The chapter stream this Sunday or next Sunday is probably gonna be last stream y'all get for me for about a week or 2. I don't know. You know, I'm gonna try to get back into things as quick as I can, but I can't make no promises. So y'all will probably be getting like a week of no content, and I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are in the Discord and somebody asks me about, am I doing a stream, just let them know that I won't be streaming next week. That I probably won't be streaming next week. And yeah.
Maybe you can do an announcement thing on the Discord thing too for that.
Yeah, I'll probably do that announcement next Sunday though. I probably will be making an announcement about it next Sunday. I will try to still engage in the Discord, so y'all can still hit me up. You know what I'm saying? But as far as doing the stream, yeah. But anyway, y'all, it was a good stream. It was a great stream. I might do more of these. You know, y'all might start seeing other streams, especially after I move. After I move, I'm planning on doing more stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm planning on doing a podcast. The podcast it's not really going to be solely about One Piece. It might be more focused on like anime, other things like music, just life, right? Just something that we just chat, right? So, but all these will be coming after the move. I'll start adding more stuff like maybe more trivia days, maybe some versus streams, some tier lists, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we gonna get into it, y'all. So y'all stay tuned. And yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I don't know for a fact. But yeah, anyway, thank you, Adam, for being part of the stream. Make sure you comment your stuff, and I'll pin it on the comments. And yeah, Anyway, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit that bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, if you're looking for a One Piece community, we have Discord. That's where you can send me videos also. And we have the One Piece Facebook group. All of these will be in the description box below. So y'all make sure y'all go there. Anyway, it's your boy Sean P, the Bluff God, and we got Adam right here as well. I'm out of here. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
See ya.